Welcome to the final round of the 2013 AMA Geico EnduroCross Series, powered by Monster Energy Drink. Jason Wygant and Adam Booth here in the place that started it all. It's the Orleans Casino in Las Vegas. It's where they held the first ever EnduroCross race. It's where we're holding the final round of this season. And what a finale we have. Mike Brown, Taddy Blazuzyak, tied in points with one race to go. Adam, you're going to get a chance to get up close and personal with this track a little bit later, but let's talk about these two championship contenders.
Taddy and Mike, they're amazing, and they've had, traded off some wins this year, and they come into this thing tied. And to win tonight, they don't even have to win. They just have to finish in front of each other to win the championship. So it's going to require some smart riding. You don't want to go all out. You don't want to fall over. You got to make the least amount of mistakes. Tough track. It's technical. Getting through clean is going to be the key on this one.
It doesn't really get much better than this. Again, whoever finishes in front of the other is going to be champ. We're talking two of the all-time greats in this game.
Yeah, tonight's going to be all out. If he wins, great. If I win, super. But when I go on the track, it's going to be everything I got for the rest, this year.
The Champion Series is something huge, for sure. And this year, I had, like I said, the first couple races wasn't wasn't really going according to my plan. And then you can really tell that you got the target on your back, because if you're not up front, the guys are just running over, and trying to run you over. So that's definitely something I felt this year when I wasn't up front the first couple rounds. But I just, like I said, we turned it around and we got the bike to work better. I work harder than ever and we're in the good place, and I'm comfortable, being here and winning championships. So I'll try to give to go for another one.
It's good though. I think the pressure's off now. It's all out for one race. We're equal on points. I don't have to protect. It's just whatever laps we do, that's just going to be it. You know what I mean? It's no looking back after that. To the last three races, I've just been thinking, where's Taddy at, or I need to do this. I'm playing math in my head out on the track, and you can't do that in race, especially this stuff. There's too much things in front of you to be worrying about the points and who's where. But this weekend, I'm just going to ride the hard 12 laps in the main, and whatever happens, happens.
KTM had a lot of championship battles this year between teammates, I would say. But at the end of the day on the track, the race day on the track, we're two different individuals, and trying to win the championship. And that's cool about KTM. There's no team orders. We're out there, to give it all we have, and of course, we're gonna try to keep it clean. We're gonna keep it clean and try, make the best guy win, and we'll see how it's gonna go.
To be my agent to win this is, like I said, I'm so close right now. I don't want to miss an opportunity. I might never be in this position again, and to win it would be, like I said, it would rank up there with my national championship. To be like, just to put to be on 41 to win another kind of major championship in off-road is, it would mean a lot to me. That's this tomorrow night. It's going to be a big deal for me.
And we'll give you the tail of the tape here. We'll show you the point standings. Obviously, the tie between Brown and Blazuzyak. By the way, they're also tied with 2 main event wins apiece. But look at the other riders. Webb, Haker, and Robert mathematically would still have a shot at the title if it were a disastrous night for Brown and Blazuzyak. Any of those three could potentially be champion when the night is over. Be sure to follow us all night long. Use the hashtag EnduroCross Live on Twitter. Follow all your fellow EnduroCross fans. And people are going to be pumped up because we have the championship bout getting closer and closer, and we also have some spoilers in the mix. We'll have more on that when we return here on the MotorTrend YouTube channel and EnduroCross Live from the Orleans.
I was made of money.
I wish you were too.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for motorcycle insurance. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
There's no other place than the Lucas Oil Motorsports Hour. And there's no other place than on MAV TV, where you can get AMA Flat Track, Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing, EnduroCross, Pro Pulling, and more. You want action? We've got action. Tune in on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on MAV TV.
The 2013 Geico AMA EnduroCross Series is brought to you by Geico. You can save money on motorcycle and ATV insurance. Go to geico.com for info. By Kenda. Quality tires since 1962. That's Kenda. That's life in motion. By Lucas Oil Products. Makers of high-performance motorcycle oil. It works. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Welcome back to the Orleans Arena. We're talking about our title contenders here in EnduroCross, Taddy Blazusiak and Mike Brown. There are a lot of other riders, though, that could potentially spoil things. I'm almost getting worried about you. Am I overdressed or underdressed? You're racing tonight.
You're good, but I'm racing the vet main tonight. Okay. It's a 35 and over sport class. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of us, you know, we're going a little different speed. We just got to get through this and have some fun, and then I'm going to run up and meet you and call the rest of this race.
Yeah, keep yourself in one piece in the vet race. Thanks. And as we focus back on the pro class, it's not only about Taddy and Mike. There's a lot of potential spoilers there. Cody Webb has won a couple races this year. Colton Haker, Taylor Robert are always in contention. And we're going to throw a real wild card in this thing, Vegas style, a one-off appearance by David Knight, who has won a bunch of EnduroCross races before.
Yeah, and he's exciting. I mean, if you know EnduroCross, you know the guy can win. He's really fast. He's on a new team, Sherco, so he's out on a new bike, a new sport behind him, and he's got the potential to really mix this up. I mean, he can run the speed as the rest of these guys. He can get in between them. He can hold them up. He can pass them. It's going to be a fun night.
And remember, not too long ago, David Knight was the star of this series. There was a big bonus on the line if he could sweep the whole series. Right. Taddy Blazusiak showed up in a one-off appearance, beat him, prevented him from getting the bonus. So I don't think David Knight's going to be worried about interfering with the championship. Let's talk to him, and we're going to let Adam go get ready to race.
No, it's, you know, we started the Super Enduro World Championship last week in Europe, and, you know, we don't have that many races over there, so basically I need race time on EnduroCross tracks, and, you know, I've been doing all I can. I've built a new track, and you know, I've just signed for Sherco, so we started with the bike probably 2 months ago. So I'm just sort of flat out trying to get up to speed, and I've just figured the more races I can do, the better, and it's good for Sherco also in the US. And it's just time. It was far too long, you know. I've been racing all other series around the world, and it should never have been this long. Obviously, I want to do well. I want to win. You know, I'll never say never. I'll always try, but I'd be really, really made up and happy with the podium. You know, I don't know if anything's possible in EnduroCross. You know, I've been there before. I've come into races underprepared, and I've gone away taking the win and taking the championship. So, you know, I know I can do the thing. I've just got to keep focused, do my own thing, and just see where I end up. But with the podium, I'd be super happy. It'd do my confidence a world of good, and just, yeah, but importantly to enjoy the race, you know. I just want to get through it, but yeah, definitely I'll be having a go. It would be nice to leave with first and a big pocket full of cash, but we'll see.
Right, you can see David Knight's definitely in good spirits here. That should be interesting to have the big man in the race. We already have a championship crowned in EnduroCross. Last week, Chantel Bykirk wrapped up the 2013 Women's Championship. She has been putting in dominant rides all year long. Let's have a chat with our new women's champion.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to go into it with knowing that no matter what happens tonight, I have the #1 in the championship, so it's a little bit off my shoulders.
All right, we'll have our women's racing a little bit later on today. Earlier mentioned some wild cards. David Knight certainly amongst them, but you saw the points. Colton Haker, he is in contention potentially for this title if something were to go wrong for our points leaders. We know that Colton has the speed. We're waiting for one of these nights to become the one where he grabs his first victory of the season. Here's Colton Haker.
Hey everyone, this is Colton Haker. 24 years old. I ride for Lucas Oil, Rockstar, JCR Honda, and I race EnduroCross. I started riding dirt bikes like any kid, you know, family oriented, you know, my mom and my dad and I would all go camping and just go trail riding. And my dad was a 6 days gold medalist and stuff like that in the 80s. And you know, I just took a knack for it, loved it, wanted to keep riding. And obviously like any kid, you know, I watched motocross, I watched Supercross. So I picked up motocross, Supercross, and rode amateur stuff on 80s. And then hit my head a couple times. That's why I'm the way I am now. Have you ever seen Balls of Fury? This is literally the most inspirational movie I've seen in my entire life. Dad said, you know, no more. You know, you had to be a regular kid, play basketball, do something else. So went a couple years out riding, and then watched Jeff Aaron's trials show. Loved it. Just couldn't get enough of it. And my dad's like, all right, well, get you a trials bike. And I rode trials for about 2 years, and then raced EnduroCross on my trials bike in 2007, bought my own KTM and went racing, and then the next race I got sponsored by Lucas, and dude, here I am talking to you. Yeah, definitely being a part of the X Games global stuff was a huge highlight career, going to travel to be a part of those. Obviously, getting a silver medal in Barcelona was a huge opportunity, and it was awesome to be able to be a part of that. And then winning my first EnduroCross race a year ago was a really proud moment, you know. Yeah, you know, I got together the JCR team this year in 2013, and it was the first time I've been a part of a real team. You know, they have Johnny Campbell, who's a 11-time Baja champion, and then, you know, he has a group of people, personnel around him that help him achieve, you know, race wins and championships. That's what they do. In the past, it was really me, you know, doing mechanic work, and I'm not a very big mechanic, and riding, and I was okay at that. And then, you know, trying to do all that and then trying to win and be on the podium and do well for your sponsors and represent is a hard feat to do. And taking that element out of it and letting me focus on just riding and more so on just that, it's really cleared my brain up and allowed me to focus on what I really need to do and my job as a rider and to perform.
Brown edging everyone out into turn one. Hager trying to use that inside. Hager and Blazusiak going at it.
EnduroCross is tough. You know, I've tried to take the element of the riders out of the equation here, because a lot of times you're not racing the riders, you're racing the track, and the track is tough enough. So that's what I focus on mainly. I don't try to think about the other riders so much, and it's about whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, keeps it upright, and keeps moving is the winner at the end, you know. And yeah, I have no animosity towards the other riders or anything. Everyone is competing in the same way that I am, and I only have respect for everyone else.
Those 4 guys, any one of them could land on that 3rd podium spot. Big crash
goes down big.
I have that in me that I just want to go as fast as I can right away all the time, you know, 120%, but, you know, I've learned that you just can't get away with that, you know, for a 12-lap main event. You know, I want to keep racing EnduroCross as long as it keeps going the way it is and it's still fun, and, you know, the next 5 years, 10 years, if EnduroCross still works out, I'll probably still be doing it, you know. You can't really say there's been much, you know, struggle or frustration. You know, I'm extremely lucky to be able to ride my dirt bike for what I would call a living, you know, and I'm literally living the dream, just like anybody else that I'm competing with as well. You know, they're in the same boat. If they take it as anything other than just, it's awesome that I can put myself on and go ride every day, and it's truly a blessing.
All right, it's almost time to go racing here, and the first race on our docket is indeed the vet final. That means Adam Booth has to head away from the booth and down to the starting line. This is going to be really fun to have my broadcast partner in the actual race in the vet class when we return.
And so it begins. Your journey starts with Shorai. Shorai, the world's lightest, strongest power sports battery.
Say hi. That's a big market to go east. I know it's been a few years since you've been there, and that's obviously a hotbed for off-road.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's one of the biggest Supercross in the world, and now we're going to do an EnduroCross there as well, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and Utah also on the schedule. That's another hotbed, so this is going to be cool.
Yeah, Salt Lake is definitely one of those places where off-roading means something. Here we can see...
that's our man Adam Booth down the starting line right now.
Which was kind enough to give me a seat, and I wouldn't trade with him, trust me.
Yeah, you don't want to switch again? You don't want to get on the bike and race vet?
Yeah, I should be there. I should be there, but you know, I'm still riding bikes. I'm slightly injured right now, so I think Adam is going to do a fine job.
That's one of the cool things, actually, is that you've helped build these courses and engineer this series, and I know you even do some experiments at your place at home to try to come up with the next level, and it's come so far in such a short amount of time how this series has evolved. We're going to show you actually the highlights of the first EnduroCross, which is right here, almost 10 years ago, 2004. You probably remember this night pretty well.
Oh, my God, it's crazy.
That's Ryan Hughes going to be looking for here on the red 39 out front. He had a crazy battle. David Knight is also in the hunt on the 101. That's 105 of Hughes and Knight battling. Now look at that. That's classic Rhino right there.
Exactly. I mean, Rhino was the same rider, EnduroCross over motocross. He's just a brutal guy, you know, very, very classy in life, kind of like Mike Brown is, you know, the nicest guy off the track, but on the track, you don't want to get too close to him.
And he takes the first ever EnduroCross win. What was the atmosphere like that night? No one had ever seen this before in the United States.
That's right. I mean, we built it up. You know, we made it more Americanized because the Super Enduro in Europe were very European style, of course. And we didn't have so many people, but we did very well. You know, it's we were so excited, couldn't wait for the next year.
Yeah, and then it has launched into now a full-on championship, and it's bigger than ever for next year with that schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we're going to be part of X Game as well. X Game is going to be part of the championship. So we'll have a 9-10 race next year, and hopefully more the following year. So we're going one step at a time. We're very careful. The motorcycle economy is not that strong, so we have to be safe, and our riders are exceptional, and we're going to be seeing the vet class in a minute. They're starting up their engine.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'll give you the names and the numbers of the riders in this event, 35-plus main event. You've got Kane Silverberg at number 2, Jason Kitchell at number 6, Rob Farrington number 7, Kurt Nickel number 8, Stephen Ford number 63, Jeremy Deming is 76, Joey Lands at number 125. Brad Rosbach is 180. David Strim, 209. Josh Adams, 221. Kelly Gelhaus is 717. And our man, Adam Booth, makes it easy on us. Has the headlight on the number 224, so we'll be able to pick him out. Now, Adam's actually won some of these vet main events before, so there's some pressure here. He can get it done, and we know that just as well as he does.
Yeah, I mean, Adam is really a great rider. Between him and Kurt Nickel, we have two world-class guys, and hey, let's see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. All right, our first gate drop of the night here live. We're on the MotorTrend YouTube channel, bringing you EnduroCross.
First cross of the night.
Didn't take them long, Eric, to get that. That was number 7 of Rob Farrington down. And the rest of the riders so far, so good. It's the number 8. No surprise, Kurt Nickel in the lead. And Adam Booth at the number 2 spot. Yeah, you could pick him.
Yeah, we couldn't have a better situation. We have the two best guys pretty much, first and second. And we're going to see if Adam uses two-wheel drive motorcycle to its advantage.
Now, this track, they were telling me, even in practice yesterday, and then today, one of the tougher tracks of the season. First, we'll go to the start. We'll talk about that a little bit. The 7 is who you want to watch here of our Rob Farrington out of Montana. A little bit too much throttle there, brings the rear end around and a couple riders with him. But talk about the track. Do you feel it's more technical than other ones this year?
Yes, it's a busy track. We have a lot of obstacles. We try to make the final track a little bit harder because it's a final.
Okay.
Here we just saw Adam going through the wood pile section. Did a pretty good job. Look at that.
A couple riders off.
Yes,
that's actually Adam going off the track,
exactly.
being challenged.
He did the right thing not to be penalized by the race director, so congratulations. It's a right thing to do.
Yeah, well, we have the videotape, so do not get caught. That's 221 of Josh Adams in third, challenging him as Kurt Nickel tries to get away. So it's done on purpose to make the final round of the year a little more spectacular. It's a little bit more difficult.
Yes, and the race is so intense. We need really a track that separates riders, so hopefully it will happen.
And we got a good battle here still between Adam and Adams, second and third. The downhill woodpile And here you've actually had to put some logs in the tire section.
Yeah, the tire got soft, and
Yep.
now the rear wheel could get stuck in a tractor tires, which was kind of annoying. So Adam did a good job in the
This
metrics, and we have a lot of riders not doing such a good job here.
Yeah, it gets a little bit difficult through here. Whoa.
That was a nice scorpion.
Got the legs out of the way. They're all right. Now this is the turn, and I know that the logs aren't as big as the rocks, but a lot of the riders are telling me it's more difficult than a rock turn.
Yes, it is, because the logs are much lighter, so they move way more than the rocks.
Yep.
And you can see the two top riders are lapping already. You know, the slower riders. It's a vet class, it's for fun, but guys are really very competitive.
I'm telling you what, I thought Kurt Nickel here on the 8 was pulling away, but Adam Booth has reeled him back in, so we might just have a race winner joining us on the webcast as soon as this is over. Kurt's dealt with pressure, though, in his time. He knows how to run his pace and not get rattled by any of this.
Absolutely, Kurt is a world-class rider. He finished second in the World Championship motocross a few years ago.
Yep.
I mean, he could have been a world champion pretty easily. Just it was not his day. Oh my God! I think
Kurt is down.
crashed.
This is
So,
a shot.
Yes, and
Adam Booth takes the lead.
Yeah, with his two-wheel drive, Christini. Great job. He didn't get stuck.
Oh, no,
shit.
he's off the track.
Yeah, no, very good job again.
Gets back on. Here's where the two-wheel drive might come in handy through this log section here. It's coming across to the finish line. I think this might be the white flag coming out here.
Yes, last
one lap to go.
You know, the two-wheel drive is working really good, and Adam really likes it. It's not everybody likes it, but Adam is really comfortable with it.
Oh,
Oops.
no!
Oh.
Who doesn't like it in that spot goes down. Now the question is, how close is Kurt Nicole? Here he comes.
Way too close. Oh, my God.
Yeah, grabs the lead. Now they're actually fighting over the spotlight. Who's going to be in it here in the last lap? Here's the log turn.
What a great race.
Kurt a little bit slow going in. Adam's right there.
Yes.
It goes down.
That's pretty much, I mean, it's never over in EnduroCross. You can never count somebody out. But
That's right. Yeah, they exchanged mistakes on this last lap. Both went down a couple of times. So now it's Kurt Nickel back in control. Man, well, at least we get some great analysis of how that log turn turned out.
Yes.
When Adam comes back in firsthand. This could be a bad section, though. It's still not over yet.
It's not over yet, you know. People are getting tired. They get arm pumped. And
I think that's the part that people miss about it. It looks like an obstacle course, and it's difficult to get over the obstacles, but a lot of the riders will tell you it's really a fitness contest, an endurance contest.
Absolutely. I mean, 50% of the battle is against yourself.
Yep.
You have to stay on your bike. When you go to motocross and supercross, the competition is with the other rider. Here, half of the battle is with the track. So now we have Kurt going for these last metrics. Hopefully, he doesn't make a mistake. Now he's blitzing the metrics. He got it.
Kurt Nickel wins, and that was a great battle between him and Adam Booth. They kept each other honest with a couple of mistakes. So King Kurt is crowned king tonight in the vet class. Here's your battle for second. Josh Adams, 221, has taken it from our man Adam Booth, but he's got to hold on to it.
Yep.
Here we go.
Adam.
Oh. Josh Adams takes second. Doing our best to be unbiased here in the booth and not root specifically for anyone, but a good job by our man Adam Booth. That's
they're all
top
great
3.
riders, and we need to have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, certainly not easy. I'm not out there doing it. And
neither am I.
You said you got an injury you're dealing with yourself, so you know how difficult this can be.
I know. It was motocrossing, not endurocrossing.
Okay.
That's the problem with motocross. It goes much faster.
Yeah, they can have crashes like this, for example, but at least you're not going at high speed. Oh, this is it. Adam Booth, we thought he had the main event. This mistake right here cost him. And when you do this 3 laps in, the bike probably feels like it weighs 500 pounds. These guys are tired at this point. Got to work on the levers there that he knocked down in the crash. But incredible to go down to the last lap and have these guys ride wheel to wheel.
Absolutely. He got nervous. I mean, the two-wheel drive didn't save him. That's
at that time. We're going to send it down to Kurt Nickel. We got him on the podium. How was that? That was quite a battle from our man Adam Booth.
It was. He rode really, really well, and I made a stupid mistake in the tyres. Just over a lap to go, but then he made a stupid mistake, so it's all good.
Hey, they're saying the track is pretty difficult tonight. How do you feel it is compared to some other events?
It's super technical, which I think is going to make great racing tonight. I'm really looking forward to watching the pros.
Man, did I hear? Are you willing to admit your age? Are you willing to tell us? just my birthday.
49 years young.
49. You've won the 35-plus class. How long are you going to be able to keep holding these kids off?
Oh, I don't know. I'll definitely die riding a motorcycle, though, one way or another.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep going until you can't go any longer.
Hey, good job, Kurt. You know, I was commentating the race with you, and just seeing you after seeing you race the GPs a few years ago, it's unbelievable. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. You're doing a great job, too. I've known you for way longer than we should know each other. I just want to have a quick shout out to my my lovely wife, Lorette, who's amazing support for me, and then my children, David and Natalie and Holly. They're watching here in England. They've stayed up all night, so thanks for that.
That's pretty cool. Well, you gave them something to be proud of. Good job, Kurt.
Thank you.
Good job. Congratulations. How many years you've been the vet champion now?
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Wow.
3 in a row. All right. That's why we call him King Kurt. All right. Have a good night. Enjoy it. And Lorette, of course, is our floor announcer here live at the events. Here are your results of the vet final. Josh Adams edges out Adam Booth, who will be joining us in the booth in just a few moments, who finishes up in third. We're going to break, so we'll get to say goodbye there. Well done, Eric. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
And we'll be back in just a little bit. We got more racing coming your way. Of course, the heat races for the pro riders. So your favorites in EnduroCross will be coming your way after a few quick messages.
The fastest name in radio control.
One and done. It's a drag race show. Everything about the race is negotiable.
I'm down for 6 in the jump.
Start race, perfect. More you hit the line.
One negotiation, one race with everything on the line. If you win 10 races on one and done, you get an extra $50,000 bonus. See you at the track.
One and done. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Only on MAV TV.
And we're back here, heat races on the line, and that includes Mike Brown. We've been talking about it all night long, the championship showdown. We'll bring Eric back in here in just a moment as we wait for Adam Booth to join us. This is a big moment. You've seen it firsthand, so have I. Taddy Blazuzziak has gone to a whole nother level in this series. We've got a real challenge this year from Mike Brown. It's unbelievable what has happened here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the stars lined up for Mike, and he's been as good or better than Taddy, and it was really the surprise of the year, and everybody loves Mike Brown, including us, and nothing's better than seeing a champion, a motocross champion, being so good. It's just so exciting and rewarding.
Yeah, the rapid improvement. I mean, when he was here 3 or 4 years ago, he was a top 10 guy. Then he was becoming a podium guy, a top 5 guy. Now here he is battling for a championship. It starts with the heat races. Our man Adam Booth has just arrived. We'll get him in here. Eric, you can go enjoy the show. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It's so much fun working with you guys.
You've done a good thing here bringing EnduroCross to us, and we thank you folks for watching at home. I'll give you the lineup here of this first heat race. Mike Brown, of course, there, the number 3. Brian Roper on the number 5. Kyle Redmond, the number 7. Ryan Sandoval on the number 11. Taylor Robert, 33. Keith Sweet, number 41. Corey Graff, under 118. Tucker LaRue is 158. Eric Roten is on the number 200. Harrison Oswald, 649. And Noah Keppel on the 696. And we are underway. Mike Brown off to a good start. That's Roper on the number 5 who goes down. He is in the back of the pack. Got to pick himself up. Brown off to a good start. Adam Booth, still got anything left in the lungs to talk with?
I'm working on catching it right now.
Woo!
That was a tough race. But
you gave it a heck of a run, though, man. You made us proud up here.
Thanks.
That is a 7 of Kyle Redmond, who was fastest in hot laps this afternoon. challenging Mike Brown right now for the number 2 spot, then Taylor Robert on the 33 in third. But right now, Mike Brown, who has been lightning quick off the starts this season and keeps that streak alive with a big hole shot here. I'll show you how he gets it. Nice job by Brown, just controlling it. It was done halfway out of the gate, and everybody else is going to be a Roper here on the 5.
This gets clipped.
Well, that is hard dirt down there to land on, isn't it?
It's rock hard.
So what was the track like? We knew we'd get some first-hand knowledge here.
The track is tough. It's there's not a lot of rest in between each object. Every corner has something in it.
Yeah.
So you're always working hard, and it's a little one line right now, but we'll see how the night develops.
These guys doubling into the water section.
Yeah, I don't think you saw too many vets doing that. It's pretty
no,
pretty
don't worry.
technical trick.
You didn't need to do that to win that one. You don't have to worry. Redmond on the gas. He was strong this afternoon. He was fast even in practice, and he was fast in the time lapse. And here he is right here battling Mike Brown. He's looking good.
He's keeping him right in his sights. It's really good to see Kyle going fast. He's on that 2-stroke, 300, and he's got great skills. He puts the power down to the ground and keeps moving forward.
Absolutely. We're Brown riding that 354 stroke, and a couple different ways to slice it here in EnduroCross. Here's Brown.
They're putting a gap on the rest of the crowd, it looks like, the rest of the field.
Absolutely, yeah. Third.
Oh, Kyle.
Redmond. End over end. That's going to open up to the 118. A Graffunder who goes down as well. So here comes Taylor Robert in 4th. This is classic EnduroCross right now.
See Kyle walking it through the logs until he can get it.
Oh. Robert goes down. Man.
That is a very tough corner.
Yeah, it was tough on you. We saw that. Now, look, there's Sandoval on the number 11. He's had problems. Robert having more struggles through there. What makes that log turn, the firewood turn, so difficult?
It's so unpredictable. You get a rock corner, usually the rocks kind of stick. You know, you can get traction off and you can hit it with your front wheel. Those logs, try to walk across that without a bike, and it's tough. So you'll see Kyle right now here. He just gets a log stuck on the front tire right as he comes in, and over he goes.
Yeah, that log probably wasn't there the previous lap.
No, Mike Brown probably kicked it up for him.
Thanks, Mike. And here's Graffunder with trouble. And then Taylor Roberts thinking, I'm going to go from 4th to 2nd until he goes down.
Yeah, I think that's a classic case of seeing some guys fall in front of you and just getting a little too throttle happy, just trying to take advantage of the situation.
Well, I've heard a lot of that. Eric was talking about it earlier, and you said it this afternoon. You have to race the track and don't get wide-eyed when you see the rider in front of you down.
Right, and like Mike Brown, you see him kind of taking his time through there. It's way better if he just calms down, gets through it, rather than panic, throttle, and fall over. He's going to lose way more time doing that than just to take his time.
And with this technical track, what kind of a separator is it going to be tonight between the best of the best?
Well, Mike seems to be handling it really well. He's a fast track kind of guy, but he seems to be calming down and really making it work. And he has straightaway on Graffunder and Kyle, so he's doing everything right.
And as we watch this battle with Graffunder and Redmond, Robert for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So far, you got to say Brown's performing under pressure.
Oh, he's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, it hasn't seemed to have affected him at all. It's the championship hanging in the balance. Good battle here between Redmond and Graffunder. That's a new kind of obstacle there, the big wire wheels they got to work their way through. And now through the tire turn. Every turn here has an obstacle in it tonight.
Yeah, and you see the wood planks there in the tires to keep them from falling in. Those are super slippery. These guys are dragging water around, and those tires just get more and more slick as more water gets drug around from that water hole.
Graffunder, 25 years old, of course, on the Husqvarna, backed by FMF, Stillwell and Dunlop. And they're closing back in on Brown.
He's having a little bit of trouble in that wood pile. He's definitely taking more time. You see Graffunder will just launch into it to keep the front wheel from catching. And Kyle getting a little wheelie going.
Is that on purpose at times, that wheelie?
Yeah, it's a pivot turn. He gets back on the rear wheel so he can swing the front end around without having to push that front wheel through those real loose logs that couldn't reach up and grab you like they've been doing.
And man, Taylor Robert right in the hunt as well as they're doubling over the log into the water and then the sand turn.
Kyle's got to stay aggressive right here because it's top 3 you go in and Robert does not want to go to last chance qualifier. He wants to get past Kyle right here, take a break, take a rest, watch other riders, learn some more lines, and just be rested.
So a lot on the line here with these riders. Now you see some of the wood being dragged into the bottom of that hill. And 3 of these riders, only 2 are going to go to the main. Yeah, so that's Brown in the lead. 1 lap to go. Robert on the outside looking in.
Graffunder has a pretty good lead right here. He just needs to be smart, but Robert catches up. It could get the lappers are going to become a problem.
Brown
have problems.
Absolutely, and this is an open door for Graffunder. They almost come together. Graffunder's going to kind of get a drive on the right side of the rocks, maybe take the lead. He goes down, and Brown doesn't even flinch, doesn't move an inch, and the benefactor is going to be first Redmond and also Taylor Robert.
Wow, what a change of events.
Going for the lead, and now he might not even go to the main.
And Brown still has half a track to go, and
That's
it
true.
can get him.
Now that firewood turn, that is going to tell the story all night long.
That's going to decide a lot of positions tonight.
All right, Brown's got to struggle through this section as well. These tires and the downhill logs, nothing to laugh about.
Taylor's not giving up. He wants to get by Kyle right here because then he's going to get a better gate pick in the main.
Here we are into the logs one last time. Mike Brown trying to control it. Here comes Redmond. Checkered flag is out. Mike Brown wins it, but what an effort by the number 7, Kyle Redmond.
I don't see Taylor. Oh, there's Taylor. Okay, he's going to get that.
Lost a little bit of ground there, but yeah, Taylor Robert will finish third. They all had their shot in that one. They had their good moments to bad moments. That was fun. Yep. And we're going to show you here this final lap of Brown. Like you said, trying to take his time through here, but this got hairy.
Oh, he just got on the throttle, and those logs, it doesn't matter how smooth you are. Sometimes they're just going to get you. And gave Graffunder just enough time to get up there, and Graffunder got on it hard, and he actually bounced off the side of Brown right here. You'll see him hit the side of him, and that did not look fun.
I love how Brown did not even move 1 inch. Was that maybe a different line that Graffunder had been using on previous laps to just try to make that pass?
It was probably a little different. He was probably going faster than he usually does.
I see. It's trying to make
to get past Brown,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, well, that's back to that thing you're saying, racing the track versus racing other riders.
Yep.
We got Mike Brown with us. Can you hear us, Mike?
I can hear you, buddy.
Man, the starts this year have been great for you, and you're keeping it going. You got any secrets off the line?
No, just the KTM 350 power. No,
nice.
That's good. I've always been a good starter, so one more tonight, and that'll be awesome.
They're telling us the track is pretty technical. What's it like from your perspective?
It is. It's not too technical, but there's a lot of technical sections. It's not the hardest sections, but there's a lot of them, and that's what's making it difficult tonight. The firewood's always a killer.
Yeah, that final lap got a little crazy in there, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure. The lappers were down, so I had to go to outside, and then they cleared up, and then the guys behind me got the inside line, so it made it a little bit closer.
Yeah. All right, you want to thank some people for that win?
Oh, for sure, FMF, KTM, all the guys, Dunlop Tour, my kids at home, my wife, and we'll win tonight.
Yeah, there we go, going for the W. We'll see you later. Thanks Mike.
Buddy. Thank you,
You
guys.
got it. All right, that's Mike Brown, one of the all-time good guys on and off the track. Here are your results. These are the 3 riders going to the main. Taylor Robert and Kyle Redmond get in. Unfortunately for Corey Graffunder, he's got to go to the LCQ. It changes in a hurry here.
He's got to go to last chance qualifier with a lot of other good guys. I mean, these heat races now, every guy in here has got a lot of talent, and it is not easy to get into the main event straight out of a heat race.
No. All right, we'll take you through this final lap again. Now, Mike gets kicked sideways. Is it just luck at this point?
Sometimes it is, and it's just you don't know if that rogue log is just going to send you to the right when you wanted to go left.
Absolutely. And then Kyle Redmond here, he's taking the lead. Not even worried about a transfer position at this point. He's going to beat Mike Brown. That's the goal. Get to the inside. Well, he did it with body and not bike, and then there goes second and third place as well.
Yeah.
Man. And then Mike Brown able to set sail from there. So if there was any pressure on Brown tonight for the championship, he didn't show it.
No, he performed really well. Hot laps today, both Brown and Taddy looked a little like they had things on their minds. They didn't go as fast as they probably normally would have, but Brown's one of those guys, he puts on a helmet, and he is all race. There's nothing else going to mess with him, and his goal is always to get number 1 and win every heat race, win every race. There's no settling for that guy.
And we'll let you folks know we do have a hot lap segment of this show. It'll be coming on a little later after these heat races. And here is your lineup for this heat race number 2. And by the way, here we are on the MotorTrend YouTube channel. We are live right now on 50 countries around the world. Folks enjoying EnduroCross everywhere. That is pretty awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
And they'll be pumped on this guy coming back from the world and European version of EnduroCross, Super Enduro, David Knight, one of the first stars of EnduroCross here in the U.S. Hasn't been back here in quite some time. He makes his return from the Isle of Man riding a new bike, a Sherco. Let me give you the lineup of everyone in this heat race. It includes, of course, the number 1, your defending champion, Taddy Blazusiak. Cody Webb on the number 2, Destry Abbott, number 8, Scott Takara, number 10, Wally Palmer, number 27, Keith Wineland, third, Kevin Rookstool, 79. Knight will be on the 101. Ty Tremaine, young kid out of Nevada, on the 114. Ricky Dietrich, also a former series champ, on his customary 5:39, and Nick Thompson is 5:75. That's your lineup for this heat race.
Yeah, that's an interesting start coming from the outside into the arena. You actually get 2 left turns out of this start. You got this one, pretty high speed, really slick. It's a little scary. You get out of that clean, then you've got another 180 turn to deal with, straight into a really big log, and they put you right to that log. So there's a couple chances for guys to get underneath. So here we go.
Seen a couple first turn crashes the first couple of races. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, Wally Palmer.
Whoa! Yeah, Wally Palmer. That's why they call him Wide Open Wally. He was wide open.
Looks like
Someone
Dietrich.
else.
Yep.
Yeah, is that Dietrich down there?
There's Nider right behind him.
Yep, Blazuzak into the lead, and it is David Knight in second, and Ty Tremaine on the 114 is third. Blazuzak already trying to put some distance between himself and the field. Here comes Tremaine in third, challenging Knight.
You know, Knight didn't look excellent in the hot laps. He didn't look bad, but you know, I'm sure he'll find some more race speed as the night goes on.
I talked to Knight after the hot laps. He had a couple things on his mind. First, he said these courses are a lot different than what he's been racing in Europe, so he feels he has to adjust to that. But he thinks that each lap that gets put down, the track gets easier. They kind of carve some lines out of these wood pile sections. He was one of the first to put in a lap during hot laps. He thinks when he's on the same track at the same time as everyone else, he can close that gap up in speed. Here comes the 2 of Cody Webb challenging Knight. Nice line there.
Yeah, he looks like he gained a little. Yep, got him on the inside.
Wow.
Now he's just got to hunt down Blazuzak.
That's certainly easier said than done. Let's see if he can track your champ down. Webb, though, remember, has won 2 out of the last 3 events in this series. Let's give you the start. The inside is Blazuzak. He's got the whole shot. Everybody else has some problems. It's Dietrich trying to come from the outside on the 539. And, oh, he got hooked. Did the 27 of Palmer. He hooked up with Knight. It went down.
And then Dietrich has a little trouble on that first log as well.
Yeah, so Dietrich and Palmer, 2 of the crowd favorites out here, 2 of the more spectacular riders, had their work cut out for them. How about Blazuzak doing just as Mike Brown did?
Yeah, he looks great. He's composed right now. He's staying pretty calm. He's working through that matrix. Matrix is pretty interesting because it's not, you can't really double, triple, double. You kind of have to take each log as its own separate log and just get yourself through it. It looks like Cody here's making a little ground on Blazuzak.
I think you can see the confidence that Webb has gained with those 2 main event wins he's gotten over the last month or so. He is not afraid to now try to take it right to Blazuzak.
He knows he's a front runner and he knows he can win, and that's a huge part of it. And his foot's probably completely healed up from his injury. That nagged him for a little while, and he can go 100% now.
Keeping pressure on Blazuzak in spots. This is another log turn. Oh, almost kicked that KTM out from underneath Blazuzak.
Those parallel log corners, as the water gets on those are kind of like riding ice as well.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. The water is not that close to it, but throughout the night they will drag the water that far.
Yeah, the water gets on the bike and it just continues to drip and then more and more bikes that pass through there just drop, and pretty soon you're riding on ice.
Halfway through this heat race, Cody Webb not messing around. He's right there in the rear wheel of Blazuzak.
They're going to get to this log corner, and this is where it can be won or lost right now. Blazuzak gets hung up, and Cody's going to be right there.
Absolutely, just as you called it. He's right there challenging the leader, and now Blazuzak's down. And puts the pike down right in front of Webb. But I think Webb right now might be going a little bit quicker if he can get past his lap rider. How about Taddy going right to the inside to block it? Oh, Webb gets to the inside anyway. Had the wide arc in that corner. He's got the #1 spot, and he doubles.
And he forces Blazuzak not to jump the water.
And that is the one thing that Webb has said he's had to learn. He has a trials background. It's the handlebar-to-handlebar style racing that he's still relatively new to. But what strategy he used to take over the #1 spot?
And you can see the confidence. He's not afraid to put an elbow in there, brake check, cut right underneath. Where that's changed a lot for him in the last year.
We're going to show you this pass and this battle for the lead again, where Webb was able to take it from your champ.
You know, he's got a really fast line down the right side of these rocks, and it set him up right to the inside corner.
Blazuzak did everything he could to cover it, and he still gets it, and then make sure he can't double into the water.
And he's putting a little gap on Blazuzak right now.
Wow. And you and I were rapping about this a couple hours ago. This was unheard of about a year ago at this time. No one could run the pace of Taddy Blazuzak, but not just Brown, Webb, and some others. They have finally figured it out.
They have changed EnduroCross. They've changed their style. I don't know if Blazuzak, I don't think he's becoming slower. No. I think everybody else has stepped up their game.
Absolutely. Here is Webb. Look at the gap that he has built over Taddy. And Looking for third is still Knight. Pretty big distance back there. He's trying to hold on to that final transfer spot. Kevin Rookstole fourth. Ty Tremaine has gone back to fifth. Then it's Nick Thompson, Destry Abbott, Dietrich, Wineland, and Takara round out your top 10 with about a lap and a half to go.
And as they start to get in these lappers, this can also hold up Cody just enough. With 1 lap left to go. You know, you get in that wood pile, you get 2 or 3 guys who have fallen over, or just anything holds them up, and Blazuzziak goes right back by again.
And now, yeah, getting around some of that lap traffic. Destry Abbott there in the 8, and Dietrich, who was down early, also going to deal with the number 10. That's Scott Takara. Ooh, nice job by Cody Webb. They've carved a line down the inside of those logs.
That thing has opened up a lot since the first couple laps. That thing was a big pile of wood, and they just roosted out the wood log and made it a little better.
All right, so there's Cody Webb on the number 2, the Beta 2-stroke, and making it work for him. I know you guys have tested that bike in the magazine, and it's solid.
Oh, it's a very solid machine. And Cody's proven right here, they can make it work and make it work well. He's, you know, Taddy's back on a 250 4-stroke. He stepped back from his 350.
Yep.
Cody's enjoying the 2-stroke and how well it puts power down.
Is that a 300 that he
Yes.
Yep. Can't argue with the success. He's won 2 of the last 3 main events. He's looking for a heat race win over Taddy Blazuzziak. Taddy's still charging, but Cody Webb takes the win. A little look back to the fans here at the Orleans. Blazuzziak finishes up in second.
You know, maybe Blazuzziak doesn't need to sweat that too much. I mean, the important thing is he's got a good gate pick in the main, and he's solid. So
there is Knight in third. I don't want to cut you off, but we're trying to watch this battle. 79, Rookstole is fourth. The 539 is a lap down. That's Dietrich. Knight is going to hold on to third, and that should be enough to go into the main event. Welcome back to Vegas, David Knight.
I know, it's great. No last chance qualifier, straight into the main. And like I said, I think he'll get faster and faster.
We're going to take you through this battle. This is where it was won and lost for Blazuzziak.
If you watch Blazuzziak, he's letting his front wheel dive into the log turn, and then Cody go ahead and he kind of uses his trial skills to drop in, and that gives him a little more minimum over the logs instead of having your nose stick in there.
Yeah, and this right side, this is what worked for him, even with a lap rider.
Yeah, it set him up great for that log corner. He drops in, and Taddy went a little wide, and Cody just plant turned and went.
That's a little bit of the trials thing there as he wheeled into that corner.
Well, and then he knew that if he was on the right side of that water hole, he'd be good.
Absolutely. Cody Webb, man, the run continues. You got to catch and pass Taddy Blazuzziak. That's not easy, but you made it happen.
Yeah, I definitely panicked coming out of that second corner. Rookstole and I got together, and somehow my wheels got hooked in his foot peg, and it just dragged me up over the log, and I wasn't ready for it. So,
wow.
Yeah, I had to do a little bit of fighting back to make some ground and, make a lot of quick passes, and it worked out to my favor.
You know, you had the foot injury earlier in the year, and it cost you a lot of points. You're doing so well now. Are you starting to wonder what if as far as the championship? Are you thinking, oh, man, I wish you could have had that back?
Yeah, it definitely was a big bummer, and, kind of took a lot out of me. And, but I'm looking at it as motivation. It got me going again, and, I realized this is what I love doing, and being on the couch sucks. So, I put a lot of hard work in before I'm even walking again. And, just to come back so strong makes it that much better, and, we're looking forward to a strong 2014.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats. We got to run. We'll see you hot laps in the main.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Cody Webb continues to make it happen on the Beta machine. Give you a little replay of it again. I love this little turn here. Wheeling over a log while turning.
Shorten the distance and get out in front.
And the handlebar-to-handlebar contact, he's not afraid of that. He's able to put the wheels in front of Blazuzziak and prevent him from doubling, and that was it. David Knight in the Sherco. Look at the variety of equipment we get here in EnduroCross. 3 different brands.
Beta, KTM, and Sherco.
Wow. Are you familiar with the Sherco? I know that Knight's actually pretty new to it. What's the story behind those machines?
Yeah, it's a new ride for him this year. He originally was on a KTM Honda, and he went and tested with some Sherco stuff, and he was supposed to test a 450, and he rode it around a while, and then he told me, they gave him the option. They said, hey, we have this 300 4-stroke. Do you want to try it? And he really wasn't that into it, and he was like, yeah, I'll spin a few laps, and he got on it and was simply amazed by it.
Huh.
So he went, instead of going with the 450, he stepped down to a 300 and really likes that 300 4-stroke.
300 4-stroke.
Yes.
With a big guy riding it.
Big guy.
Yeah. So I would think, though, that horsepower is not the ultimately deciding factor in EnduroCross.
No, putting the power to the ground and not spinning and not getting crazy that's most important. There's Colton giving us a little what's up.
Yeah, got a lot of personality on that guy, Colton Haker, and getting a little ribbing from his crew. We remember the feature story that we had on Colton, who has really made a name for himself in this series. And before we give you the lineups for this heat race number 3, we just want to get a little analysis here from our color commentator, We'll get something to show you here. You can break this course down as we get ready for heat race number 3.
Oh, boy.
Now, take us through this.
Oh, boy. Is this when I fall and lose the lead, Kurt? You know, it was the last lap. I was exhausted. I don't think my hands were even on the bars. And then when you got to pick up your bike, you can't breathe.
How much did it weigh at that point?
Oh, I don't know. It felt like 2 tons.
Yeah.
And then right here, he just got a drive on me. And Kurt, he's good at this. And my lever was down, and I was done. That last little, once you got to pick up a bike, it's so tough.
So when you entered this section, do you have
I was
much
0.
anything left?
I was done.
You were
I was wishing the race was 1 lap shorter.
I think that's the thing that people miss at home. It seems like it's a battle to get over the obstacles, but it's a fitness game as much as anything.
Well, this track is 6 lanes, and it's more lanes than normal. The lap times are a little longer, and they don't give you any rest on this track. So your hands are tight. You're not breathing. All you can think about is making the next object, and that wears you out.
I should have given you a few minutes to talk to Eric Bernard, but you're both in this room together. Maybe you could talk to him about taking some of the obstacles out, make it a little easier on you.
I'm really glad, though, that recently they've let the vet class go at the beginning of the night.
Mm-hmm.
They used to let these guys run their qualifiers, and then they'd send us out, and we look really slow after you watch these guys do the damage on the track.
In your mind, what is the hardest part of this track?
This track, you can see it from the pros. It's that log corner right there. I mean, that thing, there's no 2 ways to do it the same.
Yeah, every lap is going to be different. And we'll have the laps for this 3rd heat race here in just a moment. Let me give you the names and the numbers of the riders. Got Jeff Aaron on the number 4. He's won a race in this championship before. He's battled with Suzette for the title previous years, multi-time trials champ. So watch him on the number 4. Bobby Prochnow, the big man from Canada, on the number 9. Colton Haker, who we mentioned earlier, on the number 10. Max Gersten on the number 15 on a Beta. Stephen Ford, 63. Jamie Lanza on the number 125. David Broderick, 214. Jeff Wiley's 289. Gary Sutherland, number 324. And Jack Field, who will also be racing in the Trials Cross main event a little bit later tonight, is on the 747, an Australia-based rider. So we're ready for our 3rd heat race. We've had good action so far. Mike Brown got a heat race win. We thought Taddy Blazusiak had one, but Cody Webb was able to overwhelm him there. Let's see who takes heat number 3.
There we go, 32nd board sideways.
Ready to go racing.
Squeezed out there.
Yeah, Haker controlling it from the inside gate. Then it's Sutherland, the 324, bumping around with the 4 of Aaron.
And Lanza's right up there on the one.
Stalled that 125 on the inside.
So Colton has a clear track in front of him.
And, how about that? A little mistake. And it actually hurt Sutherland more than it helped him.
So it forces everybody to actually drop off and take lines in. We'll take it tonight.
Man. Is it easier to go around that outside, or does it actually end up being about the same?
It's about the same, but if you have a problem like Sutherland, you got to be able to take that outside line. So Colton looks like he has quite a gap right now.
Absolutely.
Almost a full straightaway.
Speed never a problem for Haker.
He runs into some bad luck once in a while.
Absolutely. And we're going to try to show you this again. Now, Haker's going to make the mistake, but it hurts Sutherland here in second more than it hurts Haker.
Yeah, I think Sutherland had a little bit of momentum and then kind of had to check up on Colton there, and that just knocked him over.
Yeah, and battling also is Aaron and the number 9 of Prochnow for 2nd and 3rd.
That just helped extend that gap for Colton there. He held everybody up.
Crazy how big a lead he has right now on that Rockstar JCR Lucas Oil Honda. Oh.
There's a hole in that corner that if you're not careful will suck your tire in and it just pull your chain off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with that as well. It's not just getting stuck, it's keeping the bike running.
Right. It'll get down in that wedge and pinch it off.
Here's Jeff Aaron in second. As I mentioned, he's won races in this series before. A couple of years ago, he was the one that was second in points and maybe trying to close that gap to Taddy Blazusiak. It has been a tougher season for Jeff than I'm sure he would have liked this year.
Yeah, for sure. A couple of years ago, he was the only guy who beat Taddy for a main event win. And, he's looking to find a lot of that speed back. And he rides moto a lot, which helps increase your track speed. So looks like he's closing up on Colton a little bit right here.
Yeah, one of these nights we're figuring we're going to see Jeff Aaron of old battling with these guys. This could be materializing in front of us right now. He tries to close in on Haker. Haker got the big gap because everybody had those problems early. There's Aaron, arguably the best trials rider in the history of the American racing, who has really found a home in EnduroCross.
Looks like Sutherland picked it back up. He's running in that qualifying position, even from that fall. Gersten's right behind him.
Yeah, Gersten was there in third. Sutherland has actually passed him to get to this spot. Gersten on the 15. He's determined. Doesn't want to have to go to the last chance qualifier.
It's interesting, a lot of these guys, you know, Sutherland's on a 350, Jeff Aaron's on a 350, Colton's on a 450.
Colt, yeah, that 450 Honda, that's going to be a lot of bike to wrestle around.
It's a lot of bike, but they detune it and they make it work for him. It's a light bike to start with. So.
Yeah, the Honda's one of the lightest, if not the lightest, of the 450s. And there we go, the 15 of Max Gersten trying to close in on Sutherland.
Sutherland's doing a great job. He's putting a bigger gap on Gersten, so he just has to keep it together.
That's not easy through that section to see how hard he's hitting it. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about bike setup. We talked about this yesterday. You were saying it is basically impossible to make a bike work well all around this course. It's compromised.
You've got a combination of hitting logs at speed. You've got to make the tires stick in slow stutter bumps, make it work through these rocks, and then make it, you know, be able to hit a big double jump and overshoot it. And so you kind of have to make a compromise on what you do best and make your bike work. So it's not perfect. These guys aren't enjoying their ride every second of the race.
No, they just know there's some areas you're just going to have to wing it. This guy sure seems to be good at that. Colton Hager, the speed, the skills, he can match up with anyone. It's just a matter of when will be the night that he puts it all together at one time for every lap of the main event. We've seen him lead races. We've seen him come from behind in races. He can do it. It's a matter of when. Yeah, this section is tough, but has it gotten simpler? It hasn't held up the riders in this heat as much as some of the others.
No, these guys are a little better off than the first race for sure, but you can see that rut that Jeff Aaron just went through. It's pushing the logs out. You'll get down to the dirt, and it's going to become faster and faster. Also, more one line, a little more follow the leader through there.
Jeff Aaron, he still rides a trials bike, actually a lot of demo events that he does for Red Bull, and he says that's actually good training for him. So the fitness has really never really been the issue. It's just learning that speed and aggression. That's why he does a lot of motocross work, I suppose.
And he's still not as aggressive as a lot of these other guys you see right there. He didn't double into the water on that lap. He doesn't need to right now. He's in second place with a fairly comfortable gap on Sutherland. So being in the main is really important to these guys. It's not easy to make it in the main. So it's somewhat of an accomplishment just to get to the night show.
And is there an element, as the white flag comes out, is there an element of saving some energy in the heat race? Do you think these guys consider that at all?
Oh, they have to.
Okay.
With a 10, 12 lap main event on this track, they're going to be exhausted. They're going to be pumped up. I don't care how much you train. Fitness comes into play. You know, Colton's got the spotlight on him right now. I'm sure he's breathing a little bit. He's in great shape. But Colton's obviously shut off a little because Jeff Aaron's picking back up on it.
Oh, he goes off of the track, and now he's got to figure out the right way on. How does that work?
Well, there's a couple different options. He can kind of sit there and wait and try to guess how fast he would have gone.
Okay.
If Jeff Aaron was close, he probably, the best thing to do would let Jeff pass him.
Okay.
And try to repass him on the track. Right now, he didn't really, you know, make up any big time on Jeff, so they probably won't do anything. Realistically, he didn't make up that much time.
The basic goal is don't benefit from it, and you should be.
Yeah, if you exit the track, you can also turn around and start the object back over. But like I said, if Jeff was on his rear wheel, Colton's best bet would to let Jeff go, wait a second, and then follow him in. It's got to be a call for the AMA official, and I'm sure that if the racing was closer, it would be a factor.
Checkered flag is out. It wasn't close enough. Colton Hager still takes the win. In fact, Aaron had his troubles here on the last half a lap. Still, he'll be happy to take that second and put his machine into the main event. And Sutherland, we saw that battle for third between him and Gersten. It looks like it's settled down, at least for the moment.
And they put a big...
I spoke too soon. Here comes Max Gersten.
Here is EnduroCross for you.
Absolutely.
Last lap, it can all fall apart.
And Gersten letting it all hang out to try to get around the outside. Here comes Sutherland trying to come back and drag race over the logs.
Oh, wow.
Gersten makes a mistake. Sutherland gets it back.
That was awesome.
Wow.
That was
like
pure determination. He was going to get that or fall down.
Doubled over some of those logs to make it happen.
Treating them like stadium whoops.
That's right. Hager didn't even get to see any of this. He needs to watch our show because we're going to show it to you. Sutherland, remember, he was down early in the race through that section. I thought Gersten had it for sure.
It looked like it. I mean, look how far he is back. And Gersten got hung up a little in there, but Sutherland he's a strong guy, and he just sat back and held it wide open.
Wow. And for that, he earns the trip to the main event. Gersten is going to have to go to the LCQ. Meanwhile, Colton Hager taking the win, man. How's it going out there?
Yeah, it's going good, guys. It's a bit difficult. It's really slow, and the 450's kind of a lot of power out there. No joke. And then, I don't know, just trying to be smooth and consistent, but it's definitely slippery and tough and a bit of a trials course.
And I was asking Adam Booth we have with us here. He just rode the vet race. Is there an element of saving some energy in the heat race? Does that cross your mind at all?
Yeah, it does a little bit, but at the same time, like, I just want to put down the fastest, most consistent, best laps I can so I can repeat it in the main. Just, it doesn't matter what place I'm in, first or third or fifth or last. I'm just going to put down, like, hopefully the same laps every time, and hopefully they're fast enough to be up there.
And last thing, man, that corner with the firewood in it, how difficult is that thing?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. The water's splashing over into the firewood.
Oh.
So I went wide that one lap and stuff, and it was definitely slippery out there. So we're going to make finer adjustments to the bike and then my riding, and hopefully come out good for tonight.
You don't need to adjust the riding. The riding's good, bro.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
Have fun, Colton. Have fun.
See you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Colton Haker. Always a fun guy to talk to, and we'll show you the results as the Honda man takes the win in the JCR Rockstar Lucas back machine. Second is Jeff Aaron on the KTM, backed by ERE and KTM Red Bull. And Sutherland, the privateer, on the 324, backed by Valcom Motorsports and Topar Racing, finishes up in third. And we're going to take a little bit of a break here. These riders need it. They've certainly put out a lot of energy. Give our man Adam Booth a chance to catch his breath as well. And then we're back with the Trials Cross main event. This is certainly going to be fun to watch, so don't go anywhere.
Wish I was made of money.
I wish you were too.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for motorcycle insurance. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
We're back. Geico EnduroCross Grand Finale for 2013 here in the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. We'll give you the schedule here for the 2014 championship here in just a moment. It's going to end here tonight, the Orleans. It's going to start here at the Orleans next year in May. A little expansion of the series. Yep. We're going to go east. Going to have a few more rounds. A lot of growth, as usual. Just keeps getting bigger and better.
That's great, and people are excited to watch it. They're filling up arenas. You know, that the amateur entry here and the vet entry and the women's entry it's the biggest amateur entry they've ever had here at this round. So it makes it tougher to qualify for the main, but it's really exciting that people are coming out in these support classes. They're trying EnduroCross. They're trying something new. You know, I mean, the vet class, I'm in it. We had to qualify. It's pretty neat.
Now, there was a time where the trials bikes could actually race in the pro division. Now they have their own class. They call it Trial Cross. Just explain to people who are maybe a little new to this the difference between a trials bike and the traditional bikes that we just saw.
Yeah, these trials bikes are used in a whole different competition. You're not allowed to put your feet down. It's an observed trials. You have to, can't go backwards. And these guys go up amazing ledges. They get around terrain you would never think a motorcycle could go up. And so this is going to be fun. These bikes are crazy quiet.
Yeah.
And, the arena sounds silent almost after you hear big race bikes. And these guys are going to have a little different style. You ride these bikes a little on the rear wheel. You try to keep them light. You try to it's all about finesse with the trials bike.
Yeah, they can't just mash the obstacles.
No. These bikes are set up really soft, and the suspension will blow right through. And you'll see some cool things. There's a couple great riders in here.
And I like how they're able to balance and stay on the pegs standing before the gate drops. We're racing in our Trial Cross main event.
You're not going to see a lot of sitting down in this race.
No, they don't have seats, so no matter how tired you are, you better be up. I'm looking at, I think, the 66 of Ty Cullens. No surprise. He's been strong a couple of these events this year at Trial Cross in the lead. And then it's the 747 of Jack Fields, who is so spectacular, winning earlier here when we had our race at the Orleans a couple of months ago. He's challenging Cullen right now. Oh!
That's when the front end bites you on a trials bike. Super soft suspension, and you just sink it.
Is the tire a little bit smaller?
The tires are a really soft compound.
Okay.
And super, super gooey with low air pressure. So when EnduroCross started, you used to be able to run a trials
And
tire
that was the
on
hot
back,
setup, right?
And it was the best thing you could run.
Right. Oh! Field almost lands on your leader, Cullen.
Okay, looks like Smodgy's in third. And
okay, Phil Smodgy in third. Yep.
And this kid out front is young. I think he's
14.
14 years old.
That's
so
incredible.
He's leading two very established trials riders right now.
Field with the mistake, and that's going to open up to Smodgy, who takes over the number 2 position. And now we're headed into the water. They're not going to be doubling this obstacle.
No.
Field trying to work his way back around.
I don't know if you remember, but you've seen Field before. If there's the right jump, you'll see Field do a backflip on this trials bike.
Yes, he did it over the finish line when he won the race here at the Orleans back in May. We'll see if he can make it happen here. First, got to work on trying to get to the lead, and Ty Cullen not making it easy on these guys. Look at Field on the inside. Wow, he didn't need much of an opening to make that happen.
And Ty is kind of leaving these guys behind.
Field kind of manually in the bike over there, doesn't want to stick the front end in those logs again. But he's got some work to do. Yeah, Cullen's opened it up.
And Smodgy had a lot of issues in the matrix right there.
All right, here's your battle for second. Take us through it.
Oh, Field just puts it right in there and basically block passes Smodgy, and then he has to reset and go. And, you know, they got to keep it on the rear wheel in these in the matrix. Otherwise, they sink the front end and it bites them. So it looks like Field's catching back up to Ty.
Absolutely. So we're going to have a battle for the lead. A little mistake.
There you
and
go.
just like that, Jack Field into the lead.
And he's going to do everything he can to just ride in the good lines and keep swerving around. If you watch him, he's making a wide track. He took that little ledge right there.
Yeah.
Something a big bike probably can't get away with.
Cullen, though, is fired up. He is not happy about losing the lead. He has ratcheted the aggression up to try to go after our leader, Jack Field, the Australian. And we're going to take you through the pass to the number 1 spot.
Field just basically pinned it through here like it was a Supercross.
Yeah, combination of mistake, but look at the speed by Field. That's all it took.
Yeah, just put it in there and hit the brakes for a second.
So Field now trying to get away from Cullen. Lap traffic is everywhere. Looks like Cullen has retaken the number 1 spot with 1 lap to go. We've got a battle on our hands.
This is great. It's fun to see these guys battle it out.
Absolutely. There's lap traffic all over, so they might not be able to take the lines they want. Right here, they're in trouble.
Oh, got held up by a lapper, both of them.
Field jumps into the number 1 spot. Now who can get going? Field's able to get out of there quickly.
But he's still got lap traffic swerving everywhere in front of him through the rock pile.
He's going to dance his way to the bottom of that hill. Now trying to put a little distance between himself and Ty Cullen. Certainly making it interesting. And not sure who's back there in third. They pulled away and up. Uh-oh, mistake by Field taking that ledge.
How many lead changes have we had in the trials cross?
I know, it's only 3 laps. Probably half a dozen times, and they passed each other.
You think big bikes are tiring. There's no seat to sit down on these. You're never taking a break.
Did you just take a few spots to try to sit down here and there when you were out there?
Yeah, big bike, even when you exit a corner, you do take a little weight off your legs. These guys haven't. They've been doing a squat the entire race.
Here it is. There's relief and rest for the weary coming. If Jack Field can get through these logs, hang in there. He takes the victory.
Oh, Ty.
No, Ty's
get it over the
stuck.
line.
Field takes the win. Ty Cullen is going to finish second. He led a couple of laps. He's kind of bummed about that, I think.
Yeah, he's got to be happy, though. That was awesome.
Man, that was some good racing. And we're looking at the 3rd place finisher there. Well, it's hard to tell. That was Mason Ottersberg who came across. Not sure if he was in the lead lap or not. Here's this last battle. This is actually your leader, Field on the right, in the blue and white, getting stuck.
No, I think that was, yeah.
Cullen going for it.
You know, it's interesting. You would think these trials bikes, they're designed to hop on stuff. Would be easier.
Right.
They seem to be almost harder in the matrix. Everywhere else, they're pretty good.
But is that a matter of the speed?
Well, they distance those logs exactly for a wheelbase, and those wheelbases are shorter than a big bike, so they get stuck in there. It's like wedging your bike in.
And some help from the girlfriend slash mechanic Rihanna, we talked to a little bit earlier today. It's a great story. She's we asked her what she does basically for Jack. It's basically everything: mechanic, marketing, truck driver, coach.
She loads his bikes, unloads them.
Yeah, and she said she was even considering racing herself tonight since he hadn't been on a bike in 6 months. Rode a little bit this week and said, maybe not. Now we're joined here by Jack Field, making it interesting. Jack, congratulations, but that was a fun one to watch.
Oh, man, that was hectic. Went out in the third round of the Pro Expert, and, I was coming fifth and just made a decision. I didn't think I was going to get up there and make it to the main in that, so felt same energy for the Trials Cross. And it's a tough battle, Smadgy, Ty. Oh, man, that was hectic. So came away with the win, so now I got LCQ and the Pro Expert, and hopefully I can make it into the main, see how we go. So
We
thanks,
didn't even have time for the backflip, huh?
Oh, I've been riding all weekend. I can't feel my arms. I'm absolutely dead, but we'll see how we go. Maybe later if we get some time.
What is that massive thing, by the way, on your helmet?
This thing here is a hit case. It's got my iPhone in it.
Cool.
I take it everywhere with me. I can upload the footage straight up. This will be up on my Instagram, JackField1. And, check it out. I'll be posting the footage straight after I get off the podium here.
All right, well, you got one more race to go, or maybe more, if you can make it into the LCQ. So you got anything left in the tank?
I'm going to have to, aren't I, if I want to get through to the main.
All right. Congratulations, Jack.
Thanks, mate.
All right. That's Jack Field taking the win in Trial Cross. Ty Cullens finishes second. What might have been, man, that was quite a battle.
Yeah,
Phil
but
Smaggi third.
Exciting race to watch. That's whenever the lead changes that much, it's great racing.
And EnduroCross never fails to bring some excitement. We're going to take another break here. We've got a lot of racing still to come. We've got an amateur class. We've also got hot laps for our pro riders. And don't forget, at the end of the night, our championship will be decided. So don't go anywhere.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for motorcycle insurance. Geico. See how much you could save.
The fastest name in radio control.
We're back here at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jason Wygant and Adam Booth here giving the call for the final round of our Geico EnduroCross Series. Now, the track has been very, very difficult for the bikes so far today, but it's only going to get more difficult because we're simply taking the bikes away. It's just an evolution. You saw how big and heavy the regular bikes are. We cut some of the weight out for the trials bikes in Trial Cross, and now we've taken all the weight out except for the handlebars for the Pro Taper foot race.
This is always entertaining. I mean, these guys, man, they're in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think w's the rules? You can't let go of the handlebars at any time?
I think that's the only thing that matters because you can fall down.
And
there's
do.
no problem. That happens all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And I was just saying to you during the break, what can you do to replicate the heart rate of riding an EnduroCross? Maybe this.
Yeah, maybe add like 40 pounds to those handlebars and then run around with them.
There really isn't anything. What can you do? I mean, a rowing machine or lifting weights or anything. I don't know if there's any way to max a heart rate out like you have to deal with when you're out there.
Yeah, and then you add into the whole race factor, and you're just nervous anyway, and then you stop breathing. So,
yeah. Okay, you want to pick a favorite here in a foot race?
I'm going with the guy in the yellow. He seems to be pretty good.
Okay.
He looks psyched up. He looks ready.
A perfect season going for the guy in the yellow. Hasn't lost a single foot race all year long. Now, they do the same thing. They'll turn the card sideways. They'll drop the gate.
Wow. Hey.
Halloween was like 3-4 weeks ago.
Maybe they haven't taken it off since.
Right. Well, I'm glad it's only vision. It's not only sense we're able to get here. I wanted to get any closer to that. The kids are pumped up. It's certainly a family sport to come and watch the motorcycles do battle here at EnduroCross. It's totally different than anything else you've ever seen. If you've been to a Supercross or an Arena Cross or Motocross, there's nothing quite like this, and they've seen quite a show tonight. We've had battles in every race we've watched.
It's been really fun. There's been nothing boring so far tonight, that's the way racing should be.
I was worried in the vet race that you were just going to pull away and yard everybody.
Yeah,
but thank you for that.
Yeah, I was totally worried about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there was the one thing you didn't want to have happen, sure. So it's our Pro Taper foot race. They do about half of the course. They do not have to mercifully do all the laps. Wait a minute, Cody Webb, what are you doing? Cody Webb taking it to them in riding boots and all.
Oh, there was some elbows thrown. Which way are they going?
They're not even sure.
Some confusion.
Yeah, they've all gone the wrong way. All right,
this
now I think we might need to red flag the event. Hey, you know, in off-road racing, following the arrows, reading the terrain, that is key.
Arrows aren't confusing.
Yeah, you have to follow the course. So we've got a two-rider or two-runner battle for the lead here. Oh, don't trip, boys.
Watch your toes. Watch your toes.
Oh, coming to the checker flag, mistake. Coming from behind in the same fashion we've had in the other races on bikes today. We have a winner determined, and he's probably more out of breath even than you were.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, that looked exhausting.
Well,
where's a chance to,
there's the rest of the people.
Well, yeah, they went the wrong way. They got their money's worth. They got a few more miles in. Wow. It's where you get a chance to thank your sponsors like your shoe company.
All right, this is when the wheels fall off right here. Literally, they don't even have any
they
wheels.
don't have any. Oh.
So I think some elbows were thrown and some confusion came about.
A good quarter speed, just in the wrong direction. And that leads us to a one-on-one man-against-man duel here with the Pro Taper foot race. We're going to have the LCQ for the pro riders coming up next. Good job by Pro Taper putting that on. That's always a fun little show for the fans. And I'd hope to think the pros know which way to go here in the LCQ begins.
Yeah, they'll be good.
And we got a cool stat coming your way here as we get ready for this last chance qualifier. This is the all-time win list in EnduroCross. That is not a typo.
That's almost unbelievable.
Yeah. Taddy Blazuzziak, 28 wins in EnduroCross.
And
no one else has more than 3.
David Knight and Damon Huffman haven't raced this series in years.
That's a great point.
Yeah. That just shows you the domination from Taddy over the last few years. I mean, they're 2011, I believe. He didn't lose one main event.
Yeah, he was perfect in 2011. 28 out of 46 races straight out. And remember, Webb has 2 wins this year. Brown has 2 wins this year. So that entire list you're looking at, 4 of the wins that were in Blazuzziak were just developed this year alone.
It's amazing.
Up until this season, it was complete and utter domination. He was losing maybe 1 race a year on average.
Do you think Blazuzziak gets sick of, getting #1 trophies?
Doesn't sound that way. He would sure like to get another one tonight, although I give the guy credit. I talked to him for about 20 minutes or so at the KTM Semi around 4 o'clock this afternoon. You wouldn't even know the guy had a race coming tonight, let alone a race with all the marbles on the line. He could not have been more relaxed.
And that's the amazing thing about EnduroCross. The pits are open, people walk through. All of these guys are completely approachable.
Yeah.
And they never have attitude. They're the same person year to year, and they're excited to be riding dirt bikes.
Yeah, and especially considering what KTM is up against with the 2 teammates who are now working out of the same semi tonight. And I talked to the team manager at Caselli about that, and he said it is a challenge. It's obviously a nice problem to have, but it is a challenge to make sure that everyone's treated equally. No one feels that there's a favorite. And the most interesting thing to me is he said we prepped the team, and we said the night is going to end with someone very happy and someone very upset. And we have to be okay with that, and we have to, you don't want to get caught celebrating wildly right in front of the one teammate who's going to come up short. So there's a lot of emotion for the KTM ring for a variety of reasons tonight. But let's go racing in our LCQ. Some other riders who are just hoping to get into the show. Rider down here. It's like Dietrich, I believe. Oh, no, that's 79, grabbing the lead in this LCQ. Lanza's off in the number 2 spot. I think Lanza lost a rear fender earlier.
Lanza's riding that 125 2-stroke.
Yep. And that makes people proud, man. They like that winding it out. It hasn't been too much of a disadvantage. Brookstool on the 79 in the lead. Brookstool can do it all. He races motocross, certainly strong here in EnduroCross. Leading Lanza. Oh, Max Oh, no, that's
Graf
Under. Sorry.
Just let the front end go. Whoa, and then Wally Palmer side saddling.
Oh,
boy.
That's classic Wally Palmer.
he likes the airtime.
Absolutely. Wide open Wally. It's been a rough one for Graf Under's been down a couple times here. That's what put him in the LCQ in the first place, and then this.
Oh, just a compressed, kind of overshot that double a little and started his turn early, and then you see Wally do the same thing, and Wally's not going to shut off for a log.
No, in midair, he'll turn that thing wide open. So Rookstool making it look easy out front. I'm sure it's not, but less drama than the other riders.
It's always a tough position to be in first because all you're thinking about is the guy in second, and then the fact that you could make it to the main right now, and just have to calm down and be smart.
Lanza trying to hang tough in the number 2 spot and just put it into the main event, but he has stalled it.
There's that hole I was telling you about. If you drop into that hole, it just bites you.
And Graf Under able to take over the number 2 spot here, the number 118. And I believe it's top 2 going to the main, and he's now going for the lead.
Yeah, Rick still has some issues.
So Graf Under 1 lap ago was down in this corner, and now he finds himself in the number 1 spot. That's some determination right there.
Graf Under is a really good rider, but so is Rookstool. And that just shows you, doesn't matter how much lead you got. You get one little mistake, and right now we're running into the lappers. So if you don't look ahead and you're not prepared, and you take that inside line, you can get stuck.
And that's what happened to Rookstool. He did get stuck, so now Graf Under opening it up. Rookstool, is he going to start worrying about what's behind him?
He might want to start, yeah, because Graf Under's pretty much gone right now from Rookstool.
We're going to show you something here interesting. Wally Palmer, wide open Wally. At least you avoided this. Oh, no, he cannot get it out.
There you go. There's that two-wheel drive kicking in. Two-wheel drive. Wally.
Oh,
that's not nice. Come on.
Yeah, don't hurt the motorcycle.
What did it ever do to you?
Two-wheel drive helps you get back on the course. Wally, one of the fun guys to talk to out of the Garden State of New Jersey. Here is Graf Under trying to hold on to the lead. Just manhandled that bike. He was probably not happy about the crash, and he just used that determination, got fired up, went right back to the front.
And he's a very tall, lanky guy, and that can really help you in EnduroCross. You get into a weird situation. He's got the length of the legs to step down and not tip over.
And Rookstool is actually still listed in second, so that must be a lap rider behind him. Nick Thompson with a 575. I'll throw a shout out to Thompson. He was the first rider, I believe, in practice to double into that water section. Here's your battle, second and third.
Yeah, it looks like Lanza, he's sticking in there. And, see, here's the problem. You follow somebody in on the same line, and when they get stuck, you're stuck, and you lose your momentum, and you just...
and Lanza goes down. He was right behind Rookstool. Destry Abbott.
Yeah.
DA8 now in the hunt, but it's for third. That might not be enough to get into the main event. And it looks like Graf Under able to avoid all that drama.
And right now, Graf Under can kind of look back, take a breather. He's got a straightaway or two on him, and just be careful and get into the main. Like you said, conserve some energy. He's out here turning more laps than everyone else who's made the main so far. So
that would have to have an impact, I would think. White flag is out. He probably wishes this thing was over. Look who's back! Oh no!
A lapper, Wally.
And Graf Under probably wishing that Palmer stayed off the track when he got back on. Not going to cost him the lead though. He has a big enough gap.
The only corner on the track without a rocker log in it, and he's fallen twice
in it. Yeah, you're right. Still has a pretty sizable lead over Rookstool, who's in the number 2 spot. Still do not even see Rookstool in the picture.
I don't.
You see Palmer launching it. Uh-oh! That is Rookstool, and he is stuck. And I mean stuck, and he's just frustrated. He had the main event in his back pocket, and now that's slipping away.
They're not going to be able to get that wheel out of that tire.
Unbelievable. He's done. There's no way he's going to get out. He's going to have to wait for some assistance. He was headed to the main event, and that's how quickly it can change in EnduroCross.
Some lappers.
Man, no one is safe on this course. These guys were right where they wanted to be. There's now a motorcycle. He's looking around saying, where's the rider?
Yeah, Rookstool just left it for dead right there.
Absolutely. And here it is. Checkered flag is out.
Great
Corey
job.
Graf Under. Yeah, you got to give him credit. The determination.
And it looks like Destry in the second position right now.
I think so.
So,
unbelievable.
Classic EnduroCross style. You could be dead last and just keep on getting it.
Absolutely. We did not even see Abbott near the front early in this one. He kept putting himself in position.
Nice.
He looks to the fans for some acknowledgement. Everybody loves Destry Abbott, the 41-year-old multi-time AMA champion. There is Rookstall. He is not happy.
Is he having some? Is he okay?
I'm not sure if he's hurting or just frustrated or what.
I think he's hurting his shoulder, maybe.
Yeah. And there it is. The linkage just hung up on that tire.
And when those tractor tires are big enough, your tire actually will slip down in there and then pass the point of that. And you can see there's no way to pull that tire past the bead of that tractor tire.
No, I mean, that's a 250-pound motorcycle, and these guys got to try to figure out what to do. I'm not even sure if they they have a technique of getting the bike out of there. Man, your heart goes out to Rookstall, who now appears to have injury added to insult. Meanwhile, we've got ourselves an LCQ winner, Corey Graffunder. Man,
hey guys.
You were just not taking no for an answer. You came back even from a crash early.
Dude, I got some fire in me tonight. Tell you what.
Yeah. And unfortunately, again, that same corner tagged you right at the end there when you ran into the back of Palmer.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. But even before that, I was all over the place. Got out front early and then washed the front end over there and just crashed by myself. But, yeah, it's a gnarly track. I'm riding it aggressively, and I guess that happens when you push it too hard.
The good thing in the LCQ, you still have hot laps and all that. I mean, do you think you can turn this whole thing around and maybe put it on the box tonight?
Oh, definitely. I think so. I feel really fast here tonight. I had 4th fastest lap earlier today, and, they disqualified me, I guess, out of that and put me last, which was bull crap to me. But, I had last gate pick in the first heat and worked my way up to second. I was going after Brown and the Rockstar on the last lap and went over the bars. But, that's racing. Made it happen in this LCQ, and I'll be there, in the main, making it go.
All right, you're going to keep pushing forward. There we go. Congratulations, Corey. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Corey Graffunder making it happen there and overcoming all kinds of obstacles that have been lined up in front of him, not just on the track, but also the crash that he had, as he mentioned, in the heat race. There's your results. Abbott making it happen.
Yeah, Abbott just kind of kept steady, and it worked out for him. The misfortune of others, and here comes Wally, and then this is where he just ran. Wally was, checking the clock or something, and Graffunder had nowhere to go.
Yeah, he just went a little bit slower through that corner. How hard is it to keep your cool when you make a mistake out here and not completely freak out and lose your entire rhythm?
Well, it's hard. Your heart rate's already up. I mean, he's coming on the last lap. He's in the lead. He's already thinking that don't make a mistake, and then he runs into the back of somebody who's, stopping on the track. And then that energy to stop what you were doing and then pick up a heavy bike, and that can just spike your heart rate higher than it needed to be. You have to take a minute. You saw him tap his lever back into position, which is smart, instead of trying to ride a bike that you're not comfortable with. He got it back to his normal position and then kept moving forward. But it's horrible to be in the lead and have that kind of pressure, because once you make a mistake, it seems like the rest of the mistakes keep coming.
Yeah, it just seems like anything that could have gone wrong tonight for Graffunder has. But you never know. He might be able to use that for some motivation to turn it all the way around.
And he's had more time on the track now. He's seen it.
Yep.
He's seen it more. He's ready to go. And every race tonight has been awesome. There's been some sort of mix-up. You've seen guys come from behind. You've seen guys get stuck in tires and leave their bike.
We've seen everything from a rider not be able to get his bike out. We've seen guys go from second to fourth in one lap. We get our second last chance qualifier on the line now to our final seedings to hot laps and the main event, and just more energy for these guys. So we'll see what sort of impact that makes. We'll see if that determination can power them forward, or if this kind of frustration and this kind of energy expansion is going to cost them later on. A couple of big names in this one because of the upset that we had in the heat race. I'll give you some of the names in just a moment. We'll get into top two, I believe, going to the main event. We saw the 15 in this one lined up. That's Max Gersten. He was also in contention in the heat race. Has to come all the way back here. Ty Tremaine on the 114. 11 of Sandoval was very fast earlier today. Number 9 of Prochnow, the big man from Canada. So these are all capable riders, and they're all been shoved into the last chance qualifier.
And it's important, even if you're not doing great in the heat race, to finish as high as you can, because Gersten gets the inside pick. So that inside line is key on this track. You've got 2 left corners, so you can keep, Oh, Jack Field punts Gersten. Hit him from the back and just knocked him down.
Wow, and takes the lead. So he's stealing it right now and then trying to get away with it. Whatever it takes, man, that's racing. Jack Field We don't know how much energy he has left after that trial cross race. So far, so good, leading Sandoval.
On the 252 stroke Christini.
Now, Jack Field has never made an EnduroCross main event, but he's got a shot at it right now, trying to control it from the front. There's Sandoval in second. They call him Sandy Pants in the number 2 position, Ty Tremaine in third.
And Sandoval's been fast. He has some good hot laps. Oh, no.
Trouble for Gersten. Is a mechanical problem, or is he in pain?
Yeah, it looks like something's bothering him, but
he's not
again. One to quit, so you'll see him get back out there. Hopefully he's not quitting.
Gersten and Graffunder have had their troubles tonight. A lot of it not even their own doing, just the nature of the game. Field holding on, but here comes Sandoval going to try to challenge him.
Oh, Sandoval looks like he stalled it.
Now here is Gersten on the 15 off the start.
And he just gave him a little push, just enough to get that front wheel out from under him. And unfortunately, that's all it takes on this hard-packed flat corner.
First to last, right there. Field, hang on to that thing. Woo. He's gonna have trouble doing it on the downhill. Oh, no.
Oh, hit neutral coming into those tires, it looks like.
He has got to be tired at this point.
Sandoval's out of the running. He stalled it coming into the water hole.
Yeah, it's Ty Tremaine in the number 2 position now on the 114.
He's creeping up on Field there.
Now into the rocks. Tremaine putting pressure on Field. Oh, put his foot down off the course. Nice job by Field leaping over that tire. Can he get through the woodpile?
He probably doesn't have a ton of energy left after winning that trials cross class.
Ricky Dietrich in third now, in contention for it, hoping for a few more mistakes out of these two. Oh, off the track goes Tremaine.
So right there, he's got to, he was smart to get back on the rock pile as soon as he can, but
it cost him.
Using that chain as a chainsaw against those rocks.
Yeah, that's not what the motorcycle chain is designed to do. Well, honestly, a chainsaw's not designed to cut through rock anyway.
Not usually.
Here is Dietrich, former champion of this series. Anyone off and did a lot of other styles of racing, including motocross and supercross. Now back in EnduroCross, trying to rebuild himself. Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay, we got out of that hole. That could have been bad.
Yeah, that, it seems a couple laps in a row, you'll see guys clear it, and they just get in the wrong spot.
Dietrich's taking his outside line. It's a little safer, a little more consistent than,
uh-oh.
Yeah, I spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's supposed to be safer.
Oh.
Now he's in a bad spot. He can't even grab the throttle now.
And then
Roper.
Just
put Roper in position to make the main event. Boy, everyone has had trouble. Sandoval, Dietrich, now Roper, much like how Destry Abbott played it in the previous LCQ.
Roper's got that trials background, amazing trials rider. And you can see him just work it. He keeps his feet on the pegs, he keeps centered, and he has really good form.
Roper out of Arizona, just 20 years old. Uh-oh! Field now off the track. He's got the 2-wheel drive.
Oh, he needs to get back up. So he played it smart. He got back in the rocks. Obviously, he didn't get any advantage by that. He lost time.
Yeah, and lost energy, too. How much does he have left? Can Jack Field, our trial cross winner, get all the way to the checkers? Can he hang on?
He looks pretty empty right now. He's got 2 laps, basically a lap and a half left, and you can see the way he's riding. He is he's on cruise right now.
And might I add, his reward is to do a whole bunch more laps in the main event if he can hang on here.
It would be exciting for him to make the main. I mean, he would love to be in there.
Absolutely. And I don't know if he'll even be able to put all the laps into the main event, but just saying that you made it in is good enough. Uh-oh, hang in there, Jack.
He can't.
He's done.
His arms, he's coming, yeah. But he makes sure that bike's in 2-wheel drive. You see that front wheel spin, and it's actually helping him when you're that tired.
White flag. How badly does he want this one to be over?
He was hoping that was the checkers.
Absolutely.
He just shaking his head.
Arms have got to be just solid rocks right now, and here comes some pressure from Roper.
His head's bobbing. Maybe that iPhone case is making his head a little heavier.
Yeah, that's right. It's not going to be the best footage you can get shaking it around like that. Roper down.
He's still in qualifying position, though.
Man, and Roper was down off the start in his heat race, so he has had to deal with some adversity as well. Everyone is stuck back there in that corner. Like it or not, Jack Field, you have more laps and you've got the lead still. That's the 200 of Eric Roten in third now. Oh, he just gave it up to the 41 of Keith Sweeten out of Oregon.
I like Jack, but his arms are jello right now.
Yes.
He's wiggling, his head's bobbing.
No, he's not going to argue with you on that.
I guarantee he's having a hard time holding on right now.
Yes, but somehow through all this, look at all the commotion back here. These are battles for that final transfer spot. Roper having problems. Sweeten having problems. Roten, I believe, on the 200. Out of Colorado, looking good in the number 2 spot. There's Proc now in the number 9. He's a lap down.
Oh. Okay, he's just got the matrix left, and right now,
this is going to be the longest 100 feet you can ride a motorcycle in his mind. Jack Fields going to the main. Yeah.
It's probably a mixed blessing at this point.
Yeah. Yes, that's the reward. More laps. And how about Roten on the 200? He was about, I think, 5th at one point.
It's another case of just staying with it, not making mistakes.
Field immediately sits down, gets a hug from the girlfriend. And she's even going to help take the helmet and goggles off. Watch out, don't mess up the iPhone. Woo! Yeah, kiss the motorcycle because it's got a seat, and he's happy that this one he can actually sit down on at times.
Well, he was sitting down a lot the last 2 laps.
Yes, absolutely. The style went out the window. It was a matter of just getting it done. Sorry, guy, you're going to have to come talk to us, too.
Any water?
Yeah, you have any water?
Well, he's already got two times on the podium tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, having to talk to me a little bit more. How about this? Jack Field had not made a main event in the pro division of EnduroCross. Had certainly handled it in the trial cross class before. Putting it together.
He has spun quite a few laps tonight already.
All right, well, we talked to you not that long ago, Jack, and you said you think you had a little bit left in the tank. Is there anything left now?
I don't know. That's tough. I don't know how many laps of that track I've done this weekend. It's been a lot. My first heat was backing straight onto the trials cross, and I'm pretty happy I made the decision to pull out of that halfway through because I was sitting in 5th. And then the aim was to try and get the whole shot in this race and just hold the lead. And I managed to get that. And I'm sorry to Max bombing you out on the first corner down there. I really feel bad about that. But, it's racing, and I don't know how I held on, but the Christini got me through the all-drive system on that. If I didn't have that, I think there's no way I would have made the me able to hold on to first the whole way through. So thanks to Steve Christini and the team for getting the bike sorted. And, all my sponsors, Unit Clothing and Answer Racing, Motopia Motorsports, and Hitcase. You guys all made it happen for me here tonight. Thanks a lot.
I got good news. 12 laps to go in the main event.
Oh, man. I think I'm going to need a energy drink sponsor after this, that's for sure.
It's Vegas. You can find something. All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank
you. All right. Sorry about that, Lorette. They're going to talk to him there on the live floor. He can find something. It's Vegas, man. You'll feel all right by the time the night's over. It's Eric Roten finishing second, going to the main event. Getting it done.
Once again, another very exciting race tonight.
Yeah. We've got a perfect night going right now. We're going to show you, again, some of the action here in this last chance qualifier. You guys can stew on this. We're getting set for another break. Oh, perfect dismount for the number 9 of Bobby Proc now. We'll be right back.
It's about that moment you realize it's not a ride, it's a journey. And so it begins. Your journey starts with Shorai. Shorai, the world's lightest, strongest power sports battery.
being a champion takes a lot of work, especially when it comes to keeping my engines lubricated. Whether it's motocross or EnduroCross, Lucas Oil products give me what it takes to keep my engine alive. With the high intensity at which I take on each terrain, no other oil fits the high performance demands that I need to be on top of the podium. I'm Colton Haker, and the only oil I trust is Lucas.
We're back here live as EnduroCross coverage on the MotorTrend YouTube channel. We've had unbelievable racing in every single event so far tonight. Last chance qualifiers, heat races, trial cross, vet class. We'll have the women's class main event coming up in a little bit as well as hot laps with our pro riders and, of course, our main event. We're going to give you a little insight, though, into what it takes to make a bike perform at the elite level for EnduroCross. We'll give you that in just a moment. And it really is a lot different racing EnduroCross. And in the evolution of this, that's kind of one of the things I figure they've probably figured out over the last 9 or 10 years of been racing this. Ways to make the bikes work better specifically for this. Yeah. I was going to say Anna, but we're going to show you this in just a second. We're going to have a mechanic for Colton Haker and Destry Abbott, who is his own mechanic nowadays, explain some of the things they do to make a bike perform that much better here at EnduroCross.
Okay. Ready and begin?
Yeah, it gets aggressive, so I can hit a log and jump in flat land. Then you got stuff that's going to get slippery with the hard packed terrain to the sand. That's what makes enduro.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
To motocross, supercross, whatever. Let me start over. I thought you were telling me to move over. No. Okay, that's okay.
All right, well, speaking of setup, there's your setup. We're working on a setup there. Talk about the difference. You were there talking to those guys. Talk about setting up a bike for this.
You know, it's changed so much. Originally, when EnduroCross started, you had guys coming out on just basically a motocross bike, set up with 19-inch rear wheel, hard tires, off-road compound, stiff suspension. Nobody was using an auto clutch. Mm-hmm. And they rode it aggressively, and they had bikes that were aggressive, and they had bikes set up for hitting big doubles or triples, and that doesn't work when you hit a log. Doesn't work when you're trying to ride smooth through a rock garden or something. So as time went on, people have figured out they maybe make some new tire compounds. They run what they call tire balls, or they put a mousse, or they run a really thick tube, so you can get the air pressure low and make the tires really wrap around what you're trying to ride. You're looking at these logs and these rocks, and you want traction. You don't want a hard tire that's going to deflect and shoot you off to the side. And on the same note, you need suspension that's going to absorb those hits and not just deflect you and shoot you in the wrong direction. And also the power is really important. A lot of these guys, they're 254 strokes, nice smooth power, but still aggressive enough to get down the straights. And some of these guys are going back, to a 350 or even like Colton with a 450 and detuning it a little bit so they can just really put the power down. And what's exciting is you've seen Cody Webb and Kyle Redmond go back to 2 strokes. And that's kind of what was winning these races in the beginning when EnduroCross started, was a light 2-stroke because 4 strokes were heavy. So, the bikes have changed dramatically. Motocross bike is completely different than an EnduroCross bike. You got to set up an EnduroCross bike for what this is.
And different than off-road of any kind. Now, this entire event has will not be forgotten for quite some time. It's all running in the background of a tragic loss just a week ago in Baja with one of the greats of American off-road, Kurt Caselli. It certainly weighs heavy on our hearts tonight, the loss of Kurt.
He could have had it easy. He could have focused on one racing series and piled up the titles and counted the money. But Kurt chased new challenges the way other riders chased checkered flags. And while that meant there were growing pains when he learned each new discipline, no one ever talked trash on Kurt if he lost. Because Kurt Caselli was too damn cool.
I've met a lot of riders, but Kurt, he was the best there was in off-road, you know what I mean?
Kurt's abilities on a motorcycle was someone I looked up to, and it was in awe because he made it look so easy. And following him across the desert, and I'm thinking I'm on the edge. No one can go faster than this. And there he is going next to me and passing me, and I'm just like in awe of what he could do and how smooth he was.
What sealed the deal is that he never took himself too seriously. He never carried an air of superiority, even though he's a 3-time Works champion and a 3-time AMA Hare and Hound national champion. Perhaps that attitude is why he could adapt so well to different environments. Kurt wasn't so stuck on himself and his own ways that he couldn't learn from others. The biggest breakthrough of all? 10 years ago, Kurt Caselli did something almost unheard of for an American. He actually went fast at the International 6-Day Enduro. For years, for decades, Team USA had been a disappointment at the event, until Kurt's speed shocked the world. Because he was a leader, he and his dad riled up the best American off-road riders with a long-gone sense of pride in the ISDE effort. There's no way this year's American ISDE trophy team finishes second without Kurt Caselli. The very idea that American riders could go to that event fired up, confident, and prepared started with Kurt's big ride a decade ago. His attitude beyond that was contagious. Kurt had more challenges ahead. He dabbled in world enduro races in Europe, had a new contract to race international rally events, including a win at this year's Rally Argentina. And then there was Baja. This time, Caselli and his KTM team were leading it, before he passed away tragically in a crash. Winning the race while taking on a new challenge. That's what Kurt Caselli was all about.
They lost a lovely guy, you know. I knew Kurt for a long time, stayed at his house, used to train with him a lot. We go through it a lot in the Isle of Man with the TD. You know, I've lost a lot of close friends, but when it's, you know, when it's off-road and the sport that we all do and love, it's harder to accept and harder to swallow, I think.
Last week talking to him, you know, he just pump you up, you know what I mean? He'd do anything he can to help you. And, you know, I'm sure he's up there watching over us now.
He could learn, he could adapt, and he could lead. And he'll be missed.
I was made of money.
I wish you were too.
We're back here in EnduroCross. We've had a lot of great racing so far. We're going to see if we can continue this streak. We've had spectacular racing in our heat races and our LCQs, but we mentioned the loss of Kurt Caselli. As much fun as everyone has, of course, as the finale here at this event, there's still this cloud hanging over it. People running the Kurt Caselli stickers. It's only happened basically Friday night, so a little over a week ago in Baja while they were leading in the final miles of the event. And it's just a shocking blow that I don't think a lot of people have still come to grips with in any way, shape, or form. It's hard to believe it happened.
Yeah, Kurt was an amazing guy, and it's not something that's going away.
No, and I know it sounds like something that you say whenever something like this happens, but he really was just an incredible guy off the track. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him. I've never seen him in a bad mood, and to know that the guy was that respected, not just as a racer, but even off the course, just makes it that much harder to swallow. We have more racing to come here, though. Of course, the show has to go on for his KTM team, for the folks that know him well, and for everyone involved in this series. Kurt did run some EnduroCross in his time. And we'll get more racing going here in just a moment. At our, I believe, our amateur main event coming up here. And once we get to turn the card sideways. And what's interesting about this, these are riders that are trying to come through the ranks and make names for themselves in EnduroCross. And as you said, the largest number of entries ever.
It was hard just to make it in this main.
Yeah.
You had to win your heat race just to make it in.
Dusty McCarthy at a 492 was on the inside. Had the lead, almost lost it. Good job holding on to the bike. Avery Turner on the 20 now. Takes the lead.
Got to Watch that hole in that corner.
So Avery Turner controlling it on the 20. 696 of Noah Keppel right behind him. Keppel lists his sponsors as mom and dad, and he's making him proud as he goes into the lead. Keppel up front in a couple of these things this year.
Looking strong through that matrix. It put quite a gap on everybody. Looks like a lot of guys got held up in there.
So the amateur riders, these are young kids, 17 years old is our leader, Keppel, leading it. Now it's the 3 of Ben Rigo. Is up to the number 2 position and has a chance to take the lead here down on the inside.
This wood pile could get a little crowded here soon.
And these guys are all tangled up. The entire group stuck in this section at the same time. Wow.
You better dodge those logs flying.
Yeah, roosted logs. David Broderick was the rider on the 214. And now our leader, Keppel, has gotten stuck. Another rider over the bars, the 3 of Rigo. I can't even tell who's left standing.
Just like that. The guy who is probably in 5th or 6th is leading.
Is in the lead. And I guess he even knows where he is. At some point, you got to figure they'll even lose track of it.
Ty Collins in the lead?
I think it might have been 66.
There you go.
Well, how about that? That's a perfect little tribute there. That was Kirk Caselli's number. You see a lot of people running the Caselli 66. So it's a 66 right now of Collins in the number 1 spot out of Riverside, California.
And you're going to watch. I mean, he's good on a trials bike, and he takes that skill right back on.
Oh!
Spoke too soon. But
and just keep it going. I thought for sure he's going to be stuck there. Where's 158 of Tucker LaRue? Another California challenging him on the outside. And gets the lead. That's what, 4 different leaders, I think, so far this thing?
At least.
I'm
sure we'll see some more by the end.
Classic EnduroCross.
The Ty's not going to give this.
Oh! LaRue! Wow. Just able to hang on to it. That'll pump your arms up. But now Collins is stuck. LaRue had 3 or 4 big mistakes, and he's still in the lead.
And he is jammed up in there. That rock pile has a couple logs stuck right in the middle, and looks like.
And Collins takes the lead. Now he goes down.
He's got time to keep it going. Just wait on that rear wheel and get over the log.
And he does still hold on to the lead, but he's got pressure from the 649, and now it's Harrison Oswald. How many riders have been in contention in this one?
Well, how many times has Ty been in the lead between the Trials Cross and this?
That's a great point. He was the one battling with Jack Field about a half hour ago. So far, it's settled down. Oswald had a shot at it. Collins pulls away just for a moment, and I really mean it that way because Oswald just closed back in.
And Ty Collins is a big 14-year-old kid.
I know, you wouldn't think, looking at him. There's like a vet out there. This the problem? No, didn't have a problem this time. That was a section that almost got him a lap ago.
And he's coming towards that white flag, and he's just got to keep it together for one more lap. And this would be huge for him.
Well, he's gotten most of the problems out of the way. Should be smooth sailing from here.
Well, he still has that long turn.
I just figure, hey, if you make 6 or 7 mistakes, you've got them all through. You're due to have a clean lap. I'm going to knock on wood. He can do it literally here.
He got through.
No! Okay, sorry, we put the hex on you, and that's going to open up for Oswald to take over the lead. Keppel has gotten stuck in 3rd right behind Collins. So Harris and Oswald may only lead 1 lap of this race, and it could be the one that counts. Into the water he goes. I cannot believe the amount of action we have seen in all the races, and somehow this amateur race has topped them all.
And this isn't over yet.
Yeah,
Just
good point.
A couple straightaways on this track.
That tire turn could make all the difference. Let's see if Oswald can hang on. He's probably got some arm pump as well, so it's not going to be easy to go downhill through the logs.
And I've been there. When that spotlight's on, the spotlight is on you, it seems to make your arms pump up faster and your decision-making slows down.
Only makes things worse. Let's see if Oswald can hang on.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wheelies through the logs, and Harrison Oswald out of Riverside, California, has taken the lead and the win. Man, the 696 of Keppel, he had his shot at it, as did Collins.
And Collins is happy with that. I mean, 14 years old, open amateur. It's hard to make it to this main event.
Got to figure one of these nights he's going to get this all figured out. He was strong on both the Trials Cross, has shown the trial skills right there. Also very strong here in this amateur race. Take you through a couple of replays here. Here's 158, Tucker LaRue. trying to hang on to the lead with Cullens right behind him.
And he hits the brakes coming into those logs and spits the back end sideways, and he recovered well.
Yeah, well through there. There would be other problems. There is your leader Cullens having his trouble in that log turn.
And what you'll notice tonight, it seems like sometimes riders are falling in just the flat, easy corners because that's where they're taking a break and they're kind of relaxing, and that's when it bites them.
And now Cullens in the lead, lap to go, half a lap really, can't get out of the log pile. Open it up for Harrison Oswald to take the lead. You see Keppel is stuck behind him. Nice job by Keppel to try to maneuver the bike around. But how about that? You only got to lead one lap. You got to lead the last lap. And you got it done, Harrison Oswald. What a race, man. That was exciting.
Hey, guys. It was a pretty tough race there. It was fun. A lot of fun.
Do you know some of those guys that you're battling with out there?
Yeah, a lot of those guys are pretty good riders. We both ride, in the expert class and the amateur class. There's a stacked talent. I know a lot of the guys are good racers.
Well, congratulations, man. Go take a rest.
Thank you.
All right, Harrison Oswald is your amateur winner tonight. Backed by AME, Grips, Free Gun Spy, FMF, and Harry's Trial Shop. And there's the results, Keppel and Cullens, second and third.
That's awesome. I mean, Cullens has been 14 years old on the podium a couple times tonight, and that's so great.
Invaluable experience. He'll figure this thing out soon, though, the way he got to experience leading laps tonight. More action coming your way in EnduroCross. Stay with us.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for motorcycle insurance. Geico. See how much you could save.
Back here at Geico EnduroCross season finale from the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the building where it all started back in 2004, and almost 10 years later, it has evolved into this. We have a championship showdown, everything on the line, and a unique part of EnduroCross is hot laps. We will determine the gate selections for the main event with this. You can explain it, Adam. The riders are going to be out there by themselves against clock.
Yeah, it's a one lap. You cross the start-finish line, and you got to put down the fastest lap you can because you want to get a fast lap so you can get that great gate pick.
Yeah.
And if you've seen each race so far, usually lining up on the inside of the gate works out amazing because you want to be inside. You want to control how far you're pushing out. And coming from the outside and making two left corners, it's not easy to do. So hot laps are real important, and you don't want to make a mistake. So
I don't think we've seen a whole shot from anywhere but the inside.
See some whole shots, but you see some guys get taken out, too. Jack Field did a good job of pushing Gersten down.
Right.
So it's sometimes not a great thing to be in the lead coming in that last corner because you can get T-boned pretty hard. But generally, yes, you want that inside pick.
And beyond that, there's obviously got to be a lot of confidence. You put in the fast lap during hot laps, you're fired up going into the main.
And, yeah, and that can play into the heads of the other riders, too. I mean, they think they're doing great, and then somebody posts up a 2-second lap hot lap, and they're like, man, that guy's going to catch me if he's ahead of me.
That's right. And remember, the championship, folks, it is tied tonight between Taddy Blazusiak and Mike Brown. So there's going to be a little bit, I'm sure, of a mental game to see who can go faster between the two and establish themselves here in hot laps. It's going to be interesting to watch between the two teammates.
It's going to be great. The hot laps earlier this afternoon to determine gate pick for the heat races.
Yeah.
Brown and Taddy didn't look great. They didn't look bad.
Yeah.
But they didn't put down the fastest laps. I think but they've been racing now. They know the track. They're a little more relaxed. And so this is going to be fun. You know, it's fun to watch these guys and see what they can do.
And one other element we can throw in, I've got to assume that there's an extreme amount of, a little bit extra pressure. An extreme amount of pressure is obviously battling for the title, but you're in the arena by yourself, all eyes watching you. That's got to make it that much more difficult, I would think.
Yeah, these guys, they're probably not even thinking about the crowd at this point, but
you know, if you make a mistake, they're all going to see it. It's not like there's a big pile up somewhere else on the side of the track distracting everybody.
This is true. So if you stick the front end and go over the bars, the oohs and the ahs from the crowd, they're going to get through that helmet, and you're going to hear it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Some of the guys attack it like Wally Palmer, if you ever get to see him out there in the afternoon when he gets to do it. I think he's really just there only for that, just to get the crowd fired up. We're going to show you some of the pitfalls that are on this track, some of the areas that can potentially trap a rider and make their hot lap, or especially in a main event where they've got to do it 12 times, an absolute nightmare. And a lot of people saying this is the most technical and the toughest track of the year.
Yeah, there's sections that are making it very technical in the close proximity of each obstacle.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see how the track, when all the fastest guys are on it at once, it may become one line, but they're going to have to hunt for other lines. If they want to make a move, they can't just wait for someone to make a mistake. They're going to have to force them to make a mistake, or maybe try a line that isn't the smoothest or isn't the easiest. These hot laps are going to be awesome because Taddy and Brown, they really want to get a faster lap than the other, because then it doesn't really matter where they line up on that gate.
That's right.
One of them wants to be on the inside of the other.
Oh, they could change everything.
Yeah.
And to go back to that truck and, again, have the confidence. So, again, take us through some of the areas that could potentially.
You going to show me falling again?
I don't know who this is. It's just some guy.
Awesome.
Oh, it does happen to be Adam Booth. How about that? What a coincidence.
Great.
What could happen in this section? You could fall down? Is that obviously?
Obviously, yeah. Thanks. Are there any parts where I was riding on the bike?
And even worse, we're going to show the leader
pass
go by.
What's even worse is I had a pretty good gap on him, and I might have been able to keep that. But in true EnduroCross fashion, anything changes.
Well, what you revealed to me was that area you went down is not even one of the toughest parts, but it's when you're battling for the lead, you start thinking differently.
Oh, you think about it, and it's tough not to do, but you're always thinking about that guy behind you. You're looking out of the corner of your eye to see if he's one corner away, one straightaway away, and then you don't pay attention to that one rock you've never had a problem with until it happens. And then that guy got by me on the inside.
I can't take anything away from him. I mean, the fact that you went out there and were leading the thing and taking the lead from Kurt Nickel, who is a multi-time World Motocross Grand Prix race winner. You're going to be pretty proud. That was some good riding.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, Kurt does have a history of being pretty good on a dirt bike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's one of the best ever to come out of England. So, and he's won a lot of these things. He's certainly experienced with EnduroCross. We're getting ready for hot laps, and it's everyone who has qualified for the main event will go out there by themselves, and a little treat for our show. We will take whoever is the rider standing as the fastest. We bring them down to the stage, put the headset on them, so they will get to call the action with us while they watch someone try to dethrone them. We've been lucky because it's been Colton Haker a lot this year who's had the hot lap, and he loves to get microphone time.
He is a personality. He's fun
Absolutely.
to be around. Some people might take what he says as, but he likes to mess around.
Yeah.
So he'll say some things to get some people fired up. He likes to get some attitude in there, and that's great.
Yeah, earlier in the year, I think he took the opportunity to solicit himself for a spot in the ISDE team. Since we gave him a chance, he got to speak his piece, and it's pretty fun. And for whatever reason, hot laps seems to be the type of riding and the type of scenario that really works for Colton. Thrown him one fast lap, he has been lethal in the hot laps.
He's got the speed to go as fast as anybody or faster.
Yeah.
He has just had some weird little things where he's tipped over at a bad time, and that's part of EnduroCross, is learning when to slow it down just a little to stay consistent.
All right, this is cool. Our first rider out is going to be the Knighter, David Knight, out of the Isle of Man. Won the championship the first year they ever had multiple events, which was 2007. He won 2 of the 3 events and won the points championship that year. So he's really the first champ when it was a 3-round series. And then the multi-round series we have now, Ricky Dietrich was the first champ of that. So here's Knight taking his new Sherco out here, seeing what he can do. So aggressive.
Yeah, he's riding that 300 4-stroke and getting a little wheel spin. It's drying out a little out there, and some of those straights are a little hard packed, and EnduroCross is about throttle control. He got through that wood corner fairly smooth, kind of took the middle line instead of cutting the inside too tight.
Knight, like a lot of these riders out here, he's a big, tall guy, goes about 6'4". I always say got the biggest pair of Alpine stars I've ever seen.
I think they're size 14.
Yeah. Yeah, the only guy I've ever seen bigger than that is Rick Smits, who used to play center in the NBA. I went riding with him a few times. He's like a size 20. But anyway, as far as professional riders, Knight is about as big and strong as they come, and he takes advantage of that.
Strong is a key word with Knight. He could probably just pick that bike up and run with it.
He's done it all, GNCC champ, multi-time world enduro champ. Also strong in the hard enduros, the extreme enduros over in Europe and throughout the world. Been a while since I've seen him here in the U.S. racing EnduroCross. The game has changed certainly a lot since 2007 when he was champ, but he still shows he knows how to get it done.
A little bit of issue with the matrix, but he made through it.
So Knight is, by default, no matter what the lap time was, he was going to be in the #1 spot because he's the first one to go, so we'll probably get to talk to him on the stage. Jack Field, got to put in more laps, buddy.
Okay, so maybe he's got to do 13 laps tonight.
Jeez. Probably wishes he could just skip this. This is Jack Field, who won our trial cross race, then won his last chance qualifier.
Oh, stalled it.
That's just more energy, man.
I thought maybe he was going slow just to get around the track and complete his game.
He can serve it as best he can.
Yeah, he's just having a little fun right now. He all he can think about is 12 laps, so he just wants to get this one over with.
Absolutely. Well, making it hard on himself in this section.
You see how he's using that two-wheel drive a little bit to his advantage there.
Absolutely. Field trying to get through the rocks. This almost claimed him in his LCQ. This is a full energy-saving mission for the 747. Oh, we got the Nighter with us. Well, hey, we knew you were going to be fastest when we saw you were the first one out. Congrats.
Yeah, but no, that was a nightmare. It was they've watered the track and it's like ice. So yeah, I did what I could, but the track's only got way better. Log pit's full, and I think it'll dry out. So I don't think I'll be here too long.
Yeah, every time he got on the gas, that thing was trying to go sideways, huh?
Yeah, it was real slick, you know. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna make the race interesting.
Jack Field's out here just trying to save the energy that he spent in the trial cross race. Give me an idea, Dave, about the difference. You've been racing some of these in Europe and coming back here in the U.S. Is it a lot different, actually?
Yeah, the tracks are quite a lot different, and you know, a 12-lap race is gonna be tough. You know, in Europe we have 3 motos, but like 7-8 minutes long, so it is quite a bit different. I've been training hard, but not enough for this. So yeah, it's one of them. I've not been here for 6 or 7 years, and you know, it is different, but it's coming too. I'm getting there, and you know, I've enjoyed the day so far, so it's been good for me and for the Sherco.
It's never bad to come to Vegas, though, right?
No, it's always good to come to Vegas, and I'm enjoying it. It's just you know, the track is tough. It's probably the most physical track I've ever done on for an EnduroCross, and yeah, a bit of jet lag mixed in. It's not too good.
Eric Roten's a rider out there right now on the number 200. Hey, Jack Field was out there saving his energy. You held him off, so far so good. Let's see what Roten can do. Hey, have you gone through a lot of bike changes right now? That bike's relatively new, and this is a different course than you're used to, so have you had to make some changes?
We haven't really got anything to make any changes with, so it's just get on with it. But like last week, I finished second in the first World Championship in Liverpool, and you know, the bike was brilliant. We got a brand new stock bike here. I went trail riding in Utah on Thursday. I'm just threw my suspension in it, basically handlebars, and put some of my tyres on, and you know, I think the bike's obviously good, but I think here we need a little bit more power just to match the other guys. You know, they're all on their race bikes, same as me in Europe. You know, we had it last week. Cody and that come over, and they're on borrowed bikes, and I was on my race bike, so
I see.
It's payback this weekend.
Hey, but so far, Eric Roten ran a 112. You had the 110, so you're still in the number 1 spot. We'll see how long you can stay there. Gary Sutherland is next one out. Adam Booth, you're in the booth with us. Sutherland's strong right now.
He's an aggressive rider, and he's a tough guy, too. I mean, he's got a lot of upper body strength. Oh, no. Little problem in the wood pile there. He's going to try to toss some of those up into the crowd wide open.
Yeah, so he's riding through a foam pit.
That wood pile, it's going to be a decision maker a lot tonight. If he can get through it clean, great, but it's probably not.
You just see how slick it is.
Yeah. It's you got to be gentle on that throttle tonight.
I'm glad you were there to illustrate that for us, David, because it's
I'm honest. From our perspective, the track looks the same, but you're saying from down on the floor, you can see it's watered. It's totally different.
Yeah, they watered it, and I knew it coming off this first rock section. The bike went sideways, and it's only a little 300. I'm glad I'm not on the 450, but it's I thought it would be drying by now, but it doesn't look to be. So it might even get worse, hopefully.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, here's Sutherland trying to complete his lap. He was strong through the matrix a little bit earlier in the heat race. Not quite as much on the line for him this time. There he was going for a qualifying spot.
Yeah, I don't think Nider's in any trouble right now on that one.
112 again, so they're longer than maybe you thought. 4 riders down. Maybe they can all make mistakes.
Yeah,
You'll take it.
I think, obviously the track's going to get better in the log pit and stuff for the top guys, so... I know I can put as fast a lap as them guys in. It's just, having an equal sort of opportunity.
Yep. Here's Destry Abbott next out on the number 8, the Monster Energy Kawasaki. Abbott was strong in his LCQ. Looks pretty smooth right now, Adam.
Yeah, he got through that log pile pretty smooth. Didn't lose too much time, and he's a smooth rider. I mean, he gets through things clean, and that's part of it.
Nice little line there, going from outside to inside of that log turn, now jumping over the water. David, is the water being dragged out all over the course now?
Yeah, a little bit, but I just noticed that time when I jumped into the water, there's like a big hole where you land, and it's not very nice. So I don't know if the concrete's broken from everyone landing or what, but we'll see. But
we'll never know until they drain it, right?
No, you'll see when you drain it.
Here's Abbott. This has been a pretty smooth lap. Let's see if it's going to get the job done or not. He's over the finish line.
It looked faster than I felt.
He got you. 106, 4 seconds faster. Nice talking to you, though.
And you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to see David Knight a little bit later in the main event. We'll bring Destry Abbott, always one of the nice guys to talk to. And we'll get some moments in with him. We'll see how long it lasts.
We'll see if how fast Jeff does his lap here, but Destry might not even have time to put the headset on.
Jeff Aaron certainly capable of putting in a fast lap. The 10-time AMA Trials champion who's adapted quite well to racing EnduroCross.
And for those out there, yeah, he's a big guy who muscles a bike around. He's tall, he's lanky, and I mean he can reposition that bike at any time. And for those out there who don't know what trials is, just look up Jeff Aaron in trials. And the things he does on a trials bike are amazing. So his skills cross over. He's right there. He didn't jump into the water, but for him it's better.
Wait to see if we can get Destry Abbott here on the stage with us for just a moment as Jeff Aaron tries to put in a time. Destry, you got us.
Oh yeah. Exhausted.
Yeah, all right. One lap's all it takes out here, right?
This is tough. This is one of our toughest courses of the year for sure, and consistency, that's going to be the key tonight.
Well, you were solid in that LCQ, man.
Yeah, I just didn't get good starts tonight, but I just kept plugging away, but Jeff's going to do really well here. He's going to be consistent, too.
Yeah, his lap was good. Let's see the time. 1:02. Well, nice chat with you, Destry.
Thanks, you guys.
See ya.
All right.
Bye, buddy.
Cool. There's Destry Abbott. He gets to go back to the Monster Energy Kawasaki pits. At least we got a few moments in with Destry. Well, here is Graf Thunder. He said he's fired up after some of the bad luck he had earlier.
He was 4th fastest in the daytime hot laps, so he has the speed to be right there. He fell off the rock pile, and who's to say if that really made a difference in his time or not?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the LCQ, he had a couple of falls and came back to win the thing. So, like you said, the speed is there.
Yeah, that was an aggressive entry into that wood pile. He actually jumped and landed in the logs.
Graf Thunder out of Canada, another one of the tall riders. He might be the tallest of all. He's 6'5" or so. Let's see if he's going to jump into the water. He's coming up right here. Indeed. Smooth landing.
Yeah, he little nose down in there. Use the log to catch some of that momentum.
And let's see if we get Jeff Aaron in just a moment here. Or will Graf Thunder be able to go quick enough to knock him off? It's going to be close.
Yeah.
Jeff Aaron, you there?
What's up, guys?
How'd it go so far?
I pulled out a pretty smooth one. The log turn is crazy right now, so I was happy to get through that thing fairly clean, so threw in a good lap.
Oh, Graf Thunder's going to edge you by about a second. Nice talking to you, Jeff.
Hey, all right then.
All right, we'll see you in the main event. Gets a moment up there with the logos on the screen.
And here's the fastest hot lap of the day, and he's riding a KTM 250SX with a 300 kit on it. KTM sells hard parts. And watch Kyle. He rides the rear wheel through a lot of stuff, and he just really smooth and really planted. And I hope I'm not jinxing him through this corner, but you can see the trials in there, and he's stepping onto that outside peg and really putting the rear wheel down. And I was really impressed. He's treating that like a super.
Oh!
See? My bad.
Yeah, we shouldn't even talk. We
Sorry,
shouldn't even
Kyle.
say anything.
Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, Redmond was the fastest this afternoon. He was looking fantastic his first couple of obstacles. So now we got Corey Graffunder. Well, I'll tell you what, you said you were fired up, taking it out on this track right now.
Well, I stayed in the rocks, so that was number one.
No real problems, yeah.
It was a good lap. They piled that firewood up on the inside, so the times are a little slower now because we can't take the inside. So I was slower than this morning, but I consider it a faster lap because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you learned something going to the main event. All the extra laps you're putting in the LCQ, could that even help learning the track?
Possibly. I found a few holes in that rock pile I know to avoid now.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure. All right, let's see what Kyle Redmond was able to put together. He did have a fall. Yeah, 107. He's fourth best. So, Corey, you can stay with us for a bit.
Right on.
Still plenty of energy left, even with the extra laps?
Oh, yeah. I can do this all night.
All right.
Bring it on.
All right. That's the spirit. That's what I like to hear. We got Taylor Robert next. We're getting into the nitty-gritty right now. The 101.0 is Corey's time. Ooh, Robert almost went down.
He almost sunk the front wheel in there. He struggled a little bit today with that wood corner.
Right in the Kawasaki 250 they usually run over there, right?
Yeah, they usually punch him out a little more than 250, but yeah.
Get a little grunt,
Yeah.
get a little extra grunt. Leaping into this section.
That was nice. He kind of used the sidewall to land it there.
Wow. Fantastic coming out of that corner.
He's riding aggressive.
But not quite as clean. I'll tell you, it wasn't quite as clean to the logs, I think, as you were, Corey, so maybe there's a shot at this.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. He looks real fast. He came out of that sand turn a lot faster than I did.
While we have you, I want to ask, how key is the gate pick? How big would it be to get that number one gate pick?
It's bigger and bigger every round.
Yeah.
These courses they're tough to pass on, so that gate pick and it just makes the start so much easier. So.
I got bad news.
Well,
Taylor Robert bumped you.
Nice talking to you guys.
Take care. We'll stay on the podium in the main, maybe, right?
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
Okay,
Nice.
so that's the goal. We might get Corey to talk to us one more time. So it's going to be Taylor Robert who'll be joining us in just a moment. Here comes the 10 of Haker, calling him Mr. Hot Lap. He has won a bunch of them this year on the JCR, the number 10.
And he's got a lot of moto style. And that was pretty brave jumping into the wood pile there. And it worked out great for him. Look at that. He made it through there clean.
Yeah, it is surprising. He does actually have the trials background, but you wouldn't know it the way he attacks the course. It does look more like a motocrosser. But he's qualified for Pro Nationals before. Oh.
And just that slipperiness just bit him right there.
That has really been a separating factor. Not the obstacles, but the dirt.
The flat corners seem to be biting people. And it's like, again, you've just spent your whole lap battling these rough corners, and then you get in the flat corners, and they get you.
And as David Knight was alluding to, the water they threw down, I'm assuming that the dirt is completely different consistency than it was earlier. They're not used to it.
Catch them off guard. They don't get to go out there and walk the track and check it all the time. So they're sometimes coming out here not knowing exactly what the consistency is.
So here is Haker after the spill. I don't know if he's going to have enough speed to try to catch back up to the time that Taylor Robert put in. And he will be, he's fourth best. It's Robert Graffunder, Jeff Aaron. Haker will be fourth.
Yeah,
got to keep it off the ground, of course. Oh, we got Taylor Robert.
Yeah, it's really slippery out there, guys. It's like blue groove, watered blue groove pretty much. So imagine riding on wet concrete.
You probably have, unfortunately, some experience riding those conditions though, right?
Yep, I do have a little bit of experience. You just got to have some amazing throttle control out there. Otherwise, you've seen these guys just wiping out right here on the flat ground.
How bad is that firewood corner also?
It changes every lap. So one lap it'll be fine. You'll just blitz right through. Another lap it'll bite you. So that's the hardest part about it, is just the inconsistency.
Wow. Yeah, every time you finally think you got to figure it out, it comes back to bite you.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only obstacle on the track that, it moves. So it's kind of hard to predict and make plan out what line you're going to take when it's moving every lap.
Got Cody Webb out here right now putting a good lap at him.
He looks strong. I mean, he came through that wood pile corner really well. He kind of one of those guys who drops into it, which is a pretty brave move, just to blindly come into that wood pile corner. But, we'll see what happens here. He looks strong.
Okay, we'll see what the lap time is. Cody Webb wheeling through the matrix.
little spaz style.
All right, let's see what we got. He got you, Taylor.
All right,
wow.
See you guys.
All right.
Oh, loop out.
All right. All right, well, you have better style at the end, at least. I'll give you that.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that's Taylor Robert. We'll send him back to the Kawasaki pits. So it's the Beta Man, 2 seconds quicker, 57.9. Taylor Robert with a 1 minute flat. And that's faster than everybody else. So Cody Webb has been feeling it lately.
Here's one of our championship contenders right now. We'll see. I mean, this is the nitty-gritty.
Yes.
This is when this is going to matter a lot.
And there's so much on the line. A tie in the championship standings between Belazusiak and Brown. Let's see what they have in hot laps.
And really clean to that wood corner. And that's the thing. You can make up a second or two just in that wood pile corner.
He's trying to make his way through. Got to worry about the dirt.
Yeah.
Apparently that's the most difficult obstacle out here right now. What do you think so far? I think Webb was laying it down.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to tell. Belazusiak puts a lot more body English into the way he rides. He looks more aggressive. Whether he is or not, like whether that's faster, it's hard to tell. But when he lands, he's wide open, and then he's on the brake. So he looks like he's motoing all the time.
Even working it through those tires, not just getting through them, but getting through them quickly. Here we go.
And this bit him in hot laps earlier today, but wow, that looked fast.
That was textbook. Wheelies through the matrix. Let's see the time. 57.7.
Oh.
Edging out Cody Webb by 0.2 of a second.
Wow.
Unbelievable. That is laying down the gauntlet for Mike Brown. Mike Brown now knows what he's got to do. He's got to beat the teammate, and clearly the pressure did not affect Taddy at all.
No, that was a great lap for him.
So let's see what Mike Brown has.
Oh, boy. No pressure, no pressure.
For him.
I know, right? There's so many opportunities for things to go wrong.
Yeah, and you know, when we're talking all night long about arm pump and heart rate and all those things, and you add championship pressure to that. Well, Taddy, you got to figure it out on that lap. That was spectacular, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I mean, it's been, it's been good. You know, the track is super slick. You know, it's all about that gate pick now, and I gave it all a hat.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Can one lap? That can get the heart rate up. One lap is all it takes, right?
Oh yeah, you're taking all the risks you can for sure. You know, going to hot lap.
All right, we're watching Mike Brown out here. Half a lap down, half a lap to go. He's got to get do the downhill logs. What are you seeing so far, Adam? Look good?
Oh, he looks good. He looks aggressive. He had one little foot plant there, but hey, these guys are going to be separated by 0.1 of a second. You know, Taddy was very strong through that matrix. It's going to be tight.
And here's Mike Brown. We're looking at the time. He's going to look up at the board as well.
Oh, wow.
57.77. Taddy, you got it by 0.05 of a second.
All right,
congrats.
Thanks, guys. See you at the gate.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. So Taddy's done. He was focused there. Did you see?
That's an incredible.
That is 57.72 for Belazusiak, 57.77 for Brown.
Wow.
Not to the tenths, to the hundredths. And Taddy's normally a pretty easygoing guy on the podium. He seemed darn serious watching Mike Brown right there.
Yeah, he didn't really want to talk to us too much.
He
kind of was like,
yeah. And it was like, all right, guys, we're going to the pits. I'll see you later. It's all on the line right now. This is going to be exciting tonight. We're going to show you the results here of hot laps. Cody Webb, can't count him out. There was only 0.2 of a second between him and your leader. We'll be right back.
The fastest name in radio control.
One and done. It's a drag race show. Everything about the race is negotiable.
6 in the jump? I'm down for 6 in the jump.
Perfect.
Morgan, hit the line.
One negotiation, one race with everything on the line. If you win 10 races on one and done, you get an extra $50,000 bonus. See you at the track.
One and Done, Thursdays, 8 p.m. only on MAV TV.
Back here for Geico EnduroCross. Not much racing left. Every event has been spectacular so far. Our hot laps are complete. We knew it would be close between Taddy Blazuzak and Mike Brown. I don't know if we knew it would be that close.
It doesn't get closer than that.
Down to the hundredths of a second in lap times, and that will set the stage for our main event. But before that, we have our women's class. Some big names in it. Tara Geiger has joined us tonight. She's a champion, of course, in motocross, in X Games in motocross, and, of course, strong in EnduroCross. Chantel Bykirk is our new champion. She's already wrapped up the title for 2013. Also got Louise Forsley, Casey Martinez, Kendall Reed, Morgan Tank, Shelby Turner, Sarah Whitmore, Lexi Pachote, Rachel Gudish, Veronica Weitzel, and Christy McKinnon in this one. It's 2:17 of Gudish, who's been with us just about every round this year, had the lead, made a mistake. It's now the 50 of Shelby Turner in the lead, but goes down. So it's going to be Whitmore, the 89, in the lead. Sarah Whitmore.
Quite a bottleneck in that corner.
Whitmore leading him into the downhill rocks, but Gudish trying to take the lead back for the second time already. He's only gone through 3 turns. Over the bars!
Ow, get the bike off her, hot pipe.
Oh, yeah, bad spot that the bike landed on you. That's Turner, who was in the lead early. She's held up Geiger in the 68.
Geiger's leaving the track right now.
Only way around it.
Yeah.
Now a bunch of riders stuck. Take us through the endo here.
Yeah,
Turner.
Just sinks that front end right there, and then nowhere to go.
I can't even tell what the front end sunk into.
It just found a little hole right there. That's all it takes.
Yeah, little is the key word.
Yep.
Probably thought she was good. End over end, and the bike lands on her. She's got that chest protector on. I think probably helped her.
Good. You got a hot pipe right there sitting on your back.
I was lucky. Look at this. Everyone is down in the logs. Whitmore was pushed back to second, going to take the lead back. I can't even figure out who that was. Yeah, Forsley on the number 2. Whitmore's still stuck.
Oh, I thought she was getting out of there. Okay, Louise Forsley, first one out of the log pile.
In the lead while not moving somehow. And that is, I believe, Bykirk rolling up. 767. No, that's McKinnon right now. She's off the track.
And she's got a decision to make. I mean, you either kind of just stay and don't pass Forsley, or she's got to wait for Forsley. There's going to be, she's pretty much buried in the rocks. And can't wait for her too long.
Yeah, Kendall Reed on the 27 is taking the lead. Forsley is stuck on the number 2. This is
this is horrible.
This is crazy. Yeah, and the 89 of Whitmore, who was in the lead, she's still there. Another rider has gone down behind her. There has to be moments where every single bike has been stopped.
Yeah, and you know that left line is tricky because there's a couple rocks. If you ride that left line, it wants to spit you off.
We've seen it happen, not just in the women's division. So it is a 27 of Reed in the lead. 27Z, Kendall Reed out of Washington, backed by Moose Racing and FMF. Now she has stalled it. Rachel Gudish, for the 3rd time tonight, is in the number 1 spot. Now, Gudish had her problems in this section a lap ago. 767 of McKinnon out of California is on the inside. She's got stuck momentarily. There are just bikes. It is a yard sale, pure carnage. Bikes and parts laying all over this track. The Yamaha of Gudish trying to ignore that. This is incredible.
She's got quite a lead right now, but as we know, that can change quickly.
Yeah, well, she's been in the lead 3 different times in this race. We've only done a lap and a half. And we're just getting to the difficult spot, this one corner and this rock section. Second place, McKinnon down.
And like I said, it sucks all your energy away to pick that bike up every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Good thing they got electric start on this. Make it a little bit easier to get going.
She's riding a 2-wheel drive Christini as well.
Oh, okay.
She's the Australian Trials champion, so she's got some trials background. She knows how to handle a bike. But at this point,
it's making it tough on everybody. Yeah, absolutely. Gudish is trying to get through. She's had her share of problems tonight, but handling it well right now.
She's doing a great job. Just keeps her feet down and trying to keep moving forward, and it's working. And more riders down.
Yeah, I believe McKinnon there has gone down in second. So here is your leader, Gudish. Gudish has been so strong in these events before, but has actually never won a main event. He's been a contender time and time again. Could tonight be the night? And you can see she's just trying to not expend energy. The lead is big enough. You don't have to worry about that. Uh-oh.
And she's looking ahead to see where the lappers are. She's got to make decisions on her lines because she can't just get stuck behind somebody. It's going to make it even tougher.
She actually does pole vaulting in school back in Indiana. Could probably use that to get over the matrix. I don't know if that would be legal or not. Probably take one of those logs and make it happen. But they do put down a couple of logs to help some of these other classes get through these sections. Here it is. Woo!
Last lap. And she's
almost
got
threw it
quite a
away.
lead, so she can be very careful. Pick her lines and just get through this.
Back by Obermeyer Yamaha. That's a Yamaha dealership in the Midwest that backs a lot of different off-road racers. Look at this. Now she has to almost pass every other rider in the race. We're all down in the firewood.
And right now she's got to make a decision. Just go to the outside, jump off your bike, walk it around. You see some other riders just go ahead and, okay, she jumped off, and this is working for her. Better safe than sorry.
Get traction any way you can. If it takes running somebody over, she walked the bike through brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean, that was very, very smart move.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
now
no.
stuck in the rocks. Now, like we said, she has a big lead. She just has to avoid major catastrophe. Is that going to happen? Getting the bike rolling, I think, in here would have to be difficult.
And then you have lappers in the way, and you've got to work your way around them. And that might not be a line you're used to.
I believe still it's a 767. McKinnon is in second. We did not see her in sight.
Well, the hardest part of the track is over for her, that log corner. So right now, she's just got to, she's being smart, putting her feet over stuff, not being too aggressive. And oh, no. She has a big enough lead that she can pick this up right now. This isn't, if she doesn't panic, she's all right.
It's an into rush. Now, Gudish was actually on the Women's Cup team at the ISD this year in Italy a couple of weeks ago. So she's experienced, and like I said to Keith Obermeyer, who runs this team, has had a lot of great riders come through his squad before. So she's got a good group around her. Oh, she's got some logs around her as well. But still no pressure from behind. Everyone else has had even more problems than that. McKinnon is still listed as second on the 767.
And Geiger is still listed in third.
Geiger, who was off of the racetrack earlier, is in third. Can Gudish hang on for her first ever EnduroCross main event win?
Just has to get through this matrix. She has a few lappers, but she got up on those little platforms. So she looks, I think she's got this.
He's got it. One for the history books.
That's exciting.
Finally getting it done. She's been so close so many times. Gudish takes the win. Here's the 767 of McKinnon out of California, backed by Flair Action Sports. Takes second place. Great riding there. Oh, really?
Yeah, out of Australia.
Okay, out of Australia, actually. Listed from Riverside. All right, so congrats around for her for second. And here is Geiger. No, actually, now it's to number 3.
Is this how they finish?
This is it right here. Checkered flag is out. So is that the number 1 of Bykirk? Where did she come from? Didn't even see her in the ranks all the way through. The new champion of the number 1. I know it gets a little confusing. Got 3 on the side of the bike and 1 on the front. Bykirk, who I did not see, your new champion, at no point was in contention, and everyone had their problems in the last lap. Perseverance pays off. She takes third. Congrats to Chantel. She will join Gudish on the podium, and Rachel Gudish going to join us. Are you down there?
Yeah.
Boy, that was gnarly, obviously, for everybody. How difficult was it for you? The track seemed pretty tough.
Hardest course of the year by far.
Really?
But my favorite for sure.
You like it that way?
Yeah, the less jumps, the better. The more obstacles, the better.
You like the old school stuff, the rugged stuff.
Yeah.
Were you worried at all? You had a couple of falls on the last lap. You had a big lead. Were you worried about that, or did you feel like you were in control most of the way?
I don't have the slightest idea what I was doing. I was just riding.
Is that your secret?
I don't know about a secret, but that's what I do.
Okay, well, it seemed to have worked. You want to thank some people?
Yeah. I'd like to thank my parents first off. Without them, I wouldn't be here right now. And then I'd like to thank my sponsors, Obermeyer Yamaha, Off-Road, Viking, Rains Riding University, Kenda Tires, Recluse Clutches, anybody else I may have forgotten. It's been a pleasure working with you guys this year, and I appreciate everything you've done for me.
All right, congratulations. Rachel Gudish taking the win there. We're going to show you the results. There we go. I'll give a shout out to my boy Jason Raines. You mentioned the riding coach there. He does a good job running the team as well. All right, so that's our victor, and we'll show you Rachel Gudish there with the number 1 position. Christy McKinnon holds on for second, and Bykirk, what a comeback. Taking third.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah, I just never know, man, when everybody's down, and everybody will have their moments on this rough racetrack. That's what happens. You just got to be consistent. We're going to take one more break, and we're going to set the stage one final time. A tie. The championship on the line in our main event will be next. Don't go anywhere.
Wish I was made of money.
I wish you were too.
Chances are you're not made of money, so don't overpay for motorcycle insurance. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Being a champion takes a lot of work, especially when it comes to keeping my engines lubricated. Whether it's motocross or EnduroCross, Lucas Oil Products give me what it takes to keep my engine alive. With the high intensity at which I take on each terrain, no other oil fits the high performance demands that I need to be on top of the podium. I'm Colton Haker, and the only oil I trust is Lucas.
Well, this is it. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves with the EnduroCross Championship. On the right, Taddy Blazusiak has won the last 4 titles in this series. But Mike Brown, a champion in motocross, a champion in other off-road series, has gotten better and better every single year. He's 41 years old. You apparently can teach an old dog new tricks because he is on the verge of breaking Blazusiak's stranglehold of this championship. Whoever finishes in front of the other man is a champ tonight.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's just a little bit of tension right there.
Oh, you can only imagine. And Brown had even admitted to us a couple of rounds ago that the championship pressure was starting to affect him out there while he was riding. I can't imagine what it's like right now.
And this is a tough position. He's in, outside gate, and Blazusiak's going to obviously hug that inside.
Yep.
So it's a decision from Brown whether he tries to get out in front of him and cut over on him, or he checks up maybe a little bit and dives to the inside. This first turn is could decide a lot tonight.
Yeah, and that gate pick was determined by the hot laps, where Blazusiak went a whopping 0.05 of a second faster than Brown. That's how close they are in speed. And don't forget some of the other riders that could get in the mix, like Cody Webb, who is a very close third in the hot laps. Mike Brown looking for his first ever EnduroCross title.
Yeah, I mean, that's even in motocross, I go back to do a couple of those, and it's all the older guys come up to me. I'm glad you're still out there racing, and for me, when I'm on track, I don't think about that. At the end of the day, when I'm done racing, I think, yeah, man, I beat all the young kids. That's what keeps me going. But for my age, I don't think about it. I'm training. I still feel like I'm, younger. I don't worry about my age. When I'm feel like I can't race no more with the guys at the top level, then that's time to quit. Until if I'm 60 years old and I still feel the same. It's nothing about the age. It's just being in shape and loving to ride a motorcycle.
Brown in his younger years had actually quit motocross for a very short time. I think this is going back now 20-some years ago, and worked at a bike shop for a couple weeks and said, man, this is what working a regular job's like. And that's why he's so motivated to keep this thing going. There's Taddy Blazusiak. Of course, like we said, he's been there, done it all when it comes to EnduroCross, but it's all on the line to try to make it 5 straight tonight. Here's Taddy.
Well, as a racer, I've won quite a couple of championships in my life, so, I know how to handle pressure, that's for sure. And, there is a championship at the end of, the night, but it's another race. So you're going to have to go through all those steps I just said and try to get it done. But, it's let the best guy win.
They might not be much further apart than this all night long, the way the hot laps and the practice laps seem to come together. How do you possibly pick a favorite?
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, both guys are great guys. They're both great riders. And you might want to see somebody break Blazusiak's streak. And Mike Brown's a great guy to do it. He's a nice guy, but Taddy's earned it so far, too. I mean, it's hard to pick a guy.
What do you think under pressure? Do you think that might be a difference maker? Do you think that might affect one rider more than another?
These guys, I don't think pressure's going to affect them much.
Really?
Yeah, I think, Mike Brown, how many years has he been racing? So
That's right.
Pressure is something he's used to. And Blazusiak, obviously, we've seen him win time and time again. So I don't think the pressure's going to get to him. I think some of this tension might get to him before that does.
Will that go away once they're finally riding? Is it one of those things where once you finally get to go and ignore that when you're racing, you can block some of that out? As right now, you have nothing to do but think about it.
I think it'll go away if they can't visually see each other too well. But if one's following the other, there's going to be some tension for sure.
This is it, man. It's going to be 12 laps for all the glory. It's so close. They don't have to win the race. They just have to finish in front of each other. They've qualified for the main, so that essentially eliminates everybody else from title contention. We look at other riders who could get in the mix. There's Jeff Aaron there. We know how fast Cody Webb can go. Colton Haker, Taylor Robert. Graf Under's been strong tonight. Well, I'll tell you, it has been an awesome season. It's bringing these live webcasts. Good to have you in the booth with us, Adam. Also want to then send a shout-out to our boy Chris Denniston, who helped us in earlier rounds this year. And a big thanks to you folks from around the world, as well as Fuel TV from Europe, and, of course, our MotorTrend YouTube channel for hosting this. Like we said earlier, we're on the air in 50 different countries, bringing people the great sport of EnduroCross. Hopefully this has done a lot. Look at that. We've got the Taddy fans apparently representing Poland and Chicago somehow. And Taddy has come here for one thing and one thing only, to try to make it a 5-peat of EnduroCross titles. Normally he has the title wrapped up long before the finale. Tonight, everything's on the line. Mike Brown, Taddy Blazuzyak, battling for a title.
Brown chose the route to tuck under a little.
Absolutely. It's Aaron in the number 3 spot. They're already bumping and banging, and Mike Brown takes the lead.
Mike
Full
Brown.
aggression and contact.
Oh, this is good.
How did Blazuzyak hold on to the motorcycle? He takes the lead, and Aaron takes over second. Well, Brown gave him a shot.
And this
Aaron
is
messing with him right now.
Oh, Brown is just panicking a little bit, getting on the throttle. He's stuck.
He's got problems. Brown is in horrible position right now.
This is not good.
He's got to get back on the track. Now, it's a long race, 12 laps. We saw all the different obstacles riders had to deal with. But right now, Taddy Blazuzyak in control.
Taddy couldn't be in a better position right now. He's got the entire field between him and Brown.
But he has problems. He's down. Jeff Aaron into the lead.
Here comes Kyle Redmond in second.
This could be the win of the sails for Brown. Yeah, he'd probably be able to see Blazuzyak
Taddy is down again. And Brown is stuck behind Destry.
Brown is going to go around Blazuzyak. No, he crashed himself.
Oh,
Knight is down.
Knight is on top of Taddy's bike. Just looks like he's standing there on it.
What is going on? Knight and Blazuzyak tangled, and our two championship contenders are literally leaning on each other in the log pile in the back of the pack. What more can you ask for?
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Brown is in front of Blazuzyak after being off the track and down twice already so far.
They might be in the back of the pack, but it doesn't matter. This is going to decide the championship.
And it is going to be a full-on rage to the front. You know the speed is going to carry them toward the front of the pack as Jeff Aaron leads. This is incredible.
I did not see this coming at all.
No, to be this far back. And David Knight was a factor there, falling on top of Blazuzyak. I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
And Brown is looking over his shoulder, and he's making decisions based on where Blazuzyak is right now.
Yeah, Brown is certainly able to ride a little more conservatively. Before he probably figured, I got to make up a half a lap on this guy. Now they're back wheel to wheel, and literally they just bumped in that corner. Brown takes a look over his shoulder.
He's looking the wrong way, and Blazuzyak's going to sneak by him.
Blazuzyak makes the pass. Brown's controlling the inside. Look at that. He blocked past him to the outside. He stood the bike up, got on the brakes, wouldn't let Blazuzyak get through.
This is a knockdown drag out. And the crazy part is they're in traffic right now. So at any point, lappers can play a role in this.
Oh, Brown is down, and Blazuzyak is down with him.
He's stuck on top of Mike's bike.
This is incredible. They also got Sutherland down. Brown gets out first. Blazuzyak is still stuck. Field and Robert are now splitting the two title contenders.
And there is a big gap. The two riders between Brown and Blazuzyak right now.
It's Aaron, Redmond, and Graf under 1, 2, 3. Brown is actually 7th. This is unbelievable. We're going to show you some of this action. I can barely keep track of what's going on. This is Brown into the firewood and down.
And it bites him, and it drops the bike, and Blazuzyak gets caught up too and falls right on top of Brown, keeping him from getting his bike up quick.
And Blazuzyak was stuck behind Sutherland. So Brown, it looked like he was going to get the worst of it, actually got the best of it, and now he's got a pretty solid lead.
Blazuzjak's making up some time. He's gotten around Haker, and now he's going to start closing in. And right now, Brown has to calm down.
Oh!
He has to be smart. And there's
not easy to calm down when you got Taylor Robert bearing down on you like that.
And there's one less guy between Blazuzyak and Brown at this point.
Blazuzyak, I believe, got held up by the falling Taylor Robert. Brown is now up to 6th place. Just as they went through the finish line there. Jeff Aaron, meanwhile, who's not one of these one of these races since I believe 2009, is leading it. And here goes Blazuzyak to get Brown back.
He's going to get him on the inside through the rock pile.
We knew that it was going to be close between these two, but they have now passed each other, I believe, 4 times. This is
unreal. We have never seen a battle for 6th place in a race this intense. And I think Blazuzyak might have a little more speed. He's been able to catch Brown. Now he's pulling away a bit, but it's the obstacles that have caught him.
It almost looks like Brown's riding a little tight right now. He's not being aggressive, just trying to conserve.
And there's Haker right there. Might be able to make the move on Brown and then split the two teammates. And what can you say about Jeff Aaron, by the way, who's leading this thing? Got a little gap over Redmond and Webb, who has climbed up to 3rd, and we know what Webb can do. He's won 2 of the last 3 events.
And Blazuzyak just made up a lot of time to that matrix on Brown. Brown's got to buckle down and close that gap and make it interesting again.
And I've got to wonder if that doesn't start ratcheting up the pressure. Seeing the guy you know you have to beat get away. You want to take it lap by lap. You want to race the course and not the other riders, but that's got to be hard to do.
Oh, Brown hung up in the woodpile again. And
here's your leader, Jeff Aaron. What can you say about this guy?
This is
Getting
awesome.
the Wayback Machine.
Yeah. I mean, he's got it. He can ride smooth and he can be consistent and stay out of trouble.
But Aaron won in a couple of years ago, 2009. He got his first win in 2010. Was the last time he got a win in one of these. That's when he was the man battling with Blazuzyak for the title.
He knows how to win, and he's got Kyle kind of closing in on him. Oh, Blazuzyak stalled it.
Wow.
So that gives
Brown's
Brown a
right
chance.
there.
Yep.
Unreal. We just say it again. Whichever one of the two, the number 1 and the number 3, finish in front of each other, they're going to be champ, and they have brought it tonight. They've given it everything they have. And I wouldn't put it past Brown to really start getting aggressive. He can get the wheels in there on Blazuzyak. I wouldn't be surprised to see him trying to knock him down or whatever it takes.
No.
Colton Haker could be the X factor on the number 10. Right there battling with Brown.
Blazuzyak has this corner pretty strong last lap, but Brown's closing the gap. But he seems to be a little slower through that woodpile corner. And it looks like Brown's riding really tight right now. He's not being aggressive after the log. He's not losing too much time, but it just doesn't look like the normal Mike Brown who can just get on the gas hard everywhere.
Blazuzyak over jumping the log right there, but able to hang on. He's approaching a section where he had a problem a lap ago where he stalled it. Let's see if he can get through clean here on the number 1. Nicely done, able to avoid that hole. But still, Brown can still see him. He knows what he's got to do.
And then he can turn it up if Blazuzyak makes a mistake, but he's watching it.
And through all this, they've actually clawed their way a little bit further forward. Now
stalls
it
again.
Here comes Brown.
This is a chance for Brown for sure.
Brown's
right there. And this is what Brown needed. He needed to be on the rear wheel. He needed to know that he can put his bike in there at any moment.
And like I said, I would not put it past Brown. If he gets an opening, we'll feed off the pegs to get aggressive.
And here's Colton. He's hanging with him. And like you said, Colton can get in the mix of this and really kind of change the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, he's riding pressure-free. These two got to be a little bit tight. They're probably not riding as well as they could on any other night.
Cody Webb
taking the lead.
He's moved into the lead.
So the number 2 man is number 1. Cody Webb looking to have 3 wins in the last 4 rounds. He's got the lead. Redmond in 2nd. Aaron pushed back to 3rd. We're focusing on the championship.
Oh.
Brown throws it away.
Major mistake.
That's a bad spot to go down. Wow. Hope he didn't damage the front of the motorcycle. Came down hard in that front wheel.
And that
has to have hurt.
Yeah, that took a lot of energy out of him.
All right, there's Blazuzyak. Here comes Brown in 2nd.
He came down hard on that log, and then he was leaned over coming out of that water hole. That's too bad for Brown right now.
Yeah, the man just giving it everything he has, riding the only way he knows how. Going to try to get some time back. The way this course has turned out tonight, certainly there's an opportunity. Webb with a small lead over Redmond.
2 two-strokes leading the race right now.
300cc two-strokes the way to go. Here's Cody Webb. Incredible way to end the season.
I thought from the beginning this was a Cody Webb kind of track. Very technical, and he's got the trial skills, and he's very consistent. So it's not really a surprise to me that he's out here leading. He's not part of the chaos that's going on. He's not part of the battles and the blocking, and he's just riding awesome.
And, again, he missed a race earlier this year with a broken foot. He might end up 3rd in points anyway by virtue of these wins he's got toward the end of the year. He has to be wondering, what if he had not missed that race, didn't have the injury, he could be the one battling Blazuzyak and Brown for this title. Here's 2nd and 3rd.
You know, Graf Under's closing in on Kyle, and
Jeff Aaron's still right there.
Yeah, this is a great battle for 2nd place here.
So you got Kyle Redmond on the 7, the 118 of Graf Under, the 4 of Aaron. There goes Graf Under the inside.
Puts a little block pass on it.
Yeah. Well, Graffunder said he's fired up. He was bummed about what happened in the hot laps this afternoon. Bummed about his heat race. Came back to win the LCQ. Was very fast in our nighttime hot laps, and he could put it up on the podium. Now running in second.
He's got a little bit of lappers to deal with, but I think Jack here will get out of the way for him. It's always nice when lappers look around a little, try to not be involved in the chaos.
Yeah, I don't know how the lappers even know where they are in relation to the other riders, who's on the lead lap and who isn't.
Graffunder looks solid right here. I mean, he hasn't slowed down. He's putting in solid laps. Looks like Kyle might have had a little issue with the tires right then.
So here is Graffunder in second, trying to get a look further up the course, trying to find that number 2. No such luck. Only 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go for Cody Webb to try to deliver his 3rd win of the season, 3rd win of his career. And what about Blazuzziak? He is 5th. Brown is still 8th. Brown at this point needs a miracle.
Yeah, he needs something big.
Yep. It's a big mistake by Blazuzziak. And you wonder if Blazuzziak knows how far back Brown is. There's Brown. See him in the corner of the screen. There's Blazuzziak trying to get through the firewood. Colton Hager has been hanging with these guys the whole time.
He's got the speed for sure. And that woodpile corner is almost gone. It
Yeah,
looks like
dirt.
a dirt corner at this point.
And I think if you're Brown at this point, you probably wish it was a little more rugged because you need something to try to impede the progress of Blazuzziak.
Yeah, Blazuzziak looks completely composed right now. He's riding like he did the first lap. He's got energy. He's manhandling the bike. He's not tired right now. He's good.
Yeah, he's flowing. You can kind of see how loose he is on the bike. He's only in 5th place, but that might be the biggest 5th place finish the guy's ever had in his life. This would be an incredible 5 straight titles in EnduroCross. Already for certain it was the stiffest challenge he's ever faced. But he's going to try to prove that he can do it in dominant fashion or he can perform under pressure. 2 laps to go for Blazuzziak to try to win this title.
He's just got to keep it together. The way he's riding, just stay that way and watch out for lappers and keep your eyes open for him.
All dirt in this corner now. That's best friend for Blazuzziak. I wonder if Hager, is Hager almost not want to get involved with these guys? I mean, he finally has the opening and
there
takes
he goes,
it.
yeah.
But it's taken forever. I think he just said, until I get a clear shot, I'm just going to stay here.
Blazuzziak let it by. He's not going to fight for position. And
Brown
Cody
has now got a lap down.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Brown has been lapped. So actually,
Cody
white
Webb.
flag is out. Time is running out for Brown to make anything happen, and Cody Webb is looking for a victory.
He looks amazing, and this is such a confidence booster for him, and he's proven multiple times that the couple wins he has are not flukes. He has the speed to run with all these guys.
Now he battled with Blazuzziak at the last one. He could have made it 4 in a row. He came close, but the number 2 has been the number 1 man down the stretch. 3 out of 4 races for the man backed by Stillwell Performance, Moose, CD, Motorcycle Superstore X brand goggles, Motul, and HBD graphics. Half a lap to go. And we're looking at the results here, trying to figure out Blazuzziak and Brown. And obviously, a race within a race for the championship.
It's awesome. Webb has just a little way to go to claim another victory this year.
Well, he has served notice. An injury prevented him from contending for the title. But there's no doubt that he is going to be one of the top contenders heading into 2014. Another win for Cody Webb on the Beta. 3 wins in the last 4 rounds. Now we wait on Blazuzziak. And it looks like, by the slimmest of margins, Taddy Blazuzziak is headed toward his 5th straight EnduroCross crown.
He's about to lap
Mike Brown. Yeah, he might go a lap down. Brown has gotten stuck. He gave it everything he had. But Taddy Blazuzziak is going to pull off the comeback. He started the year off injured. He wasn't the same Taddy Blazuzziak we're used to seeing, but down the stretch, he pulled off a win the last time out. He finishes in front of Brown tonight to win the title. Taddy Blazuzziak, under pressure, is your EnduroCross champion. 5th place. Gets the job done, and at one point they were laying on top of each other multiple times.
At one point, Knight's bike was laying on top of Blazuzziak's bike. The woodpile made it look like nothing was good was gonna come out of it.
No, I know. Several times Brown had it in his grasp. Blazuzziak had it in his grasp. Meanwhile, Webb has parked the number 2 bike. He looks calm, cool, collected. He's just celebrating, drinking some water, getting some congrats. But here's the big story. Taddy Blazuzziak has won the 2013 Geico AMA EnduroCross Championship.
Not without a heck of a fight.
Absolutely. You can't say that Brown didn't give him everything he had. This is cool. Some of the other teams come in to congratulate him as well. Bluzuziak still the king of indoor off-road.
Tonight's one of those nights. Every single race out on the track was exciting.
It really was. Every single race had something to offer. And now a little bit of celebrating for the man from Poland. They and several, not just Brown, they gave him a challenge. Webb was strong this year. Hager was strong this year. Yeah, now he's showing off the skills. What a relief it has to be. He did a great job of ignoring the pressure, but still, it's got to feel like thousands of pounds are off the shoulders.
The first few laps of this race were just total chaos.
Yeah.
Who knew what was going to happen? And somehow, through all of that, they ended up side by side again.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times in this race, they were dueling wheel to wheel. Ultimately, Bluzuziak was able to open up a little bit of a gap about halfway through, and then Brown's race completely started to fall apart, made a couple of mistakes. I'm sure at that point he was just pushing and pushing with everything he had. Mike Brown, one of the all-time warriors, both of motocross and now of off-road, nothing to be ashamed of. He gave it a great effort. He gave it a run, but Bluzuziak is the champ. This race is not going to be forgotten for a long time.
No, that was an amazing race.
The night they came in tied and battled for it. But Graf under a great effort tonight to finish second. He rode all the laps he could, rode the LCQ and everything. And then still took the runner-up. Redmond is third.
Yeah, that's
Solid
a great
run.
finish for Kyle. Riding the two-stroke. That's two two-strokes on the podium. It's cool.
Yeah, the two-strokes making a comeback here. And Cody Webb's got his fans here, the Californian. Got some people pumped up for the number 2. Cody, as your victory here, as we look at your Geico EnduroCross results, Hager was 4th, followed Bluzuziak and Brown for most of it, made the move, and Bluzuziak opened the door. Bluzuziak's 5th place. For him, that's a subpar finish, but it does not matter. It's the one that counts because it gives him the title. Jeff Aaron was leading a lot of the laps tonight. Finishes 6th. Robert, Sutherland, Brown, and Abbott finish in the top 10. And what can you say? Brown and Bluzuziak had a lot of troubles in this main event. They were down a lot. Yeah. It was actually 2 of their worst results of the year for these two, just the way it turned out. The championship might have had something to do with that. We'll get to talk to, we're going to say goodnight over to our folks watching in Portugal in just a moment. We'll try to get a word in with our new champ. Hopefully, maybe we'll get to talk to our race winner as well. Here it is, Tadej Bluzuziak making it happen, getting it done. 5 times the champion of EnduroCross. That was a crazy one, my friend.
Oh, yeah, man. I don't even want to watch that GoPro footage of this one, you know. I mean, dude, you know, we're trying, I guess me and Brownie were trying to stay cool, but I'm telling you, when that gate dropped, you know, it was like, in the first corner, we got together like 16 times.
Yeah.
Second time, it's like 28 times. So, you know, I was so tense, just looking around. And when I went down, I thought it was gone. It was done, you know. Big congrats, I would say, you know, to David, you know, for tonight. You know, he crashed on top of me, and he know that the championship on the line. He picked my bike up, so
all right.
Thanks, dude. You're the man.
He actually helped you get up.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty special, I have to say, you know, especially, you know, this situation. Yeah, big guy, for sure.
Did you were able to settle down? Did you settle down a little bit as the laps went on, or was it tense the whole way?
Oh, man, I didn't settle down at all. I was riding, like, you know, half of my normal speed, and I was getting 3 times as tired as normally I do. So, you know, I guess the pressure got us. I mean, I still rode better than Brownie. So, you know, it was all about me and him. I didn't even see other guys on the track. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it was crazy. I hope it's not going to happen ever again.
Yeah, you got through the experience. And we got to sign off in just a second. We'll keep you with us. We're going to sign off to our fans that are watching in Portugal on Fuel TV. Thanks for joining
Good
us.
stuff. Thanks,
we'll
guys.
see you guys next year. Tad, you want to throw out some shout-out to all the people that made this happen?
Yeah, for sure, man. Big shout-outs got to go, you know. Big thank you got to go to Factory, KTM Factory team, you know, for hooking me up with the best bikes. The bike was great all year. You know, we've made a lot of changes. The guys at the team, you know, they followed every my decision, and it paid off. You know, then you know, big thank you to all my sponsors: KTM Factory team, Red Bull, Fox, GoPro, Aero, Orland team. You know, everybody, and you know, got a great thank you got to go to all the people that you don't see around me here. That they put so much work into what I'm doing back home to get us family back in Spain, my family back home in Poland. You know, and my girlfriend Jana, and you know, it's been a crazy year, I'm telling you, but so happy to end up here, and yeah, super pumped.
Do you want it to be this close next year?
No,
I didn't think so.
No. I'm gonna, you know, I hope I mean, this season's pretty much done, you know. So I ended up healthy, which is pretty cool, and it's the first time in a good couple years. So probably, you know, hopefully I can get my, you know, preseason, you know, done in a couple months, and I should be ready for the first one for sure.
All right, congratulations. See you next year, Taddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Taddy Blazuzyak. I think we got some point standings together here. Obviously, everything is unofficial. We're just finished the race. 4 points is the final margin of victory.
That was a great season. Came down to that last wire, and a lot of it came down to that gate pick, too.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Brown was pretty aggressive. They almost looked like they were using their bikes as blocking tools.
I'm sure they were, yeah, a little bit.
But
look how close Cody Webb ends up, even missing a race.
Yeah. So that what if is a huge one, and it's
Yeah.
unfortunate that he got hurt, but he's next year. So, I mean, Cody is one of those guys, he could have upset this thing really easily.
Absolutely. They were struggling at one point. They were further back than they were. He might have had a shot at it. But he certainly is going to have a lot of confidence when we come back in May right here at the Orleans for the opener of the 2014 series. And these fans have not left at all. I mean, they were treated to unbelievable racing tonight.
Yeah, that came – I can't wait to rewatch this and check it out again because count how many times everybody was in the log corner, how many bikes were piled on top. And it's really awesome that Nider picked up the bike.
And how about this? 3 wins in the last 4 rounds. Cody Webb, you got to bottle this somehow and keep it all the way till next May.
Oh, I know. It's, you know, I'm ecstatic right now. The night couldn't have been any better. And, you know, I had 2 horrible starts, but I had a mad charge those first couple laps and sucked right in on those guys, took advantage of their mistakes, and it worked out all in my favor. I can't believe it.
Can you point to anything? I feel like I've asked you this every week. Can you point to anything that you've changed in the last couple of weeks to get this breakthrough and keep this rolling?
I don't know. I'm so busy, jam-packed with school right now. You know, I'm trying to become a mechanical engineer, so I'm going to school twice a week, riding every time in between, riding my road bike in between class. So I'm putting a lot of hard work, and you know, I don't really have a life right now. It's life on the road, traveling. I've only slept in my bed, like, I think three times in like the last 2.5 weeks. So
wow,
it's been tough. I was in Liverpool, England last weekend racing the Super Enduro. I had a poor result there, and you know, for what I was expecting with how I've been riding so strong in the States recently, so I wanted some redemption here tonight, and I think I got it.
You only ended up, I believe, 11 points short of the title this year. You have to be fired up and loving your chances for next year.
And you also got to take into account a missed around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's unbelievable.
What the hell, man? I'm sorry for cursing. You know, now that I'm looking back at it, it's really bugging me right now. But, you know, I take and learn. It was definitely a life lesson, and, you know, maybe hungry to come back for more.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Keep this thing going, and good luck in school as well. You definitely won the college class. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see you next year.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. That is Cody Webb, your race winner, 3 of the last 4 rounds. You know, that's funny. When we asked him in the heat race about missing that race and how close he was to the title, it bothered him a little bit.
It bothers him a lot now.
Yes, it definitely ratcheted up a couple hours later.
Stop showing me
you
falling.
Of all people, man. Just rubbing it in. Even the champ was down a couple times. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Everybody was down a couple times.
Well, I think what we've learned here, Adam Booth, is the target has been on Taddy Blazuziak's back for now 5 years, and it has made a difference. These guys are motivated. They're coming for him.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, it was a bummer Cody missed a round.
Yep.
But if these guys can stay healthy next year, it's not getting any easier for Blazuziak.
We had an incredible build-up to this finale, and somehow the race actually exceeded all that hype. We had action in every single race, from qualifying through the main events and our other support classes, all the way through a spectacular battle for the championship and the race win in the main event. It was everything EnduroCross is supposed to be, and we were so happy to bring it to you all year long here on the MotorTrend YouTube channel. For everyone that helped us out behind the scenes and everyone in front of the scenes, we had a great time bringing it to you. Hope you join us next year. For Adam Booth and, of course, my man Chris Dennison, who was here at previous rounds, I'm Jason Wygant. A big congrats to the five-time champ of EnduroCross, Taddy Blazuziak, your winner of the title once again in 2013.